Alrighty. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this. Let's talk about 3.20. Hello, folks. How you doing? Welcome. Welcome in. Welcome in. Where's it going? Okay. What's up, folks? Good to see ya. Punji. God dang. Both chats, dude? Punji's lighting us up in both chats. Good guy. Welcome, everybody. Zane, Frenchie, Memory, Pedro, Norak. Hello, folks. We're going to have a nice little day today of speculation, a little bit of copium, a little bit of getting ourselves just a tiny bit too hyped. I want to talk about Alpha 3.20. So we've been getting some information about this patch over the last couple months. Things have been trickling in. Hold on a second. Okay. Here we go. I guess this music's just going to be baked in. So I want to talk about 3.20. And today it's about time for us to host another Greenhouse podcast. It's the community podcast that I want to do every month with the folks on the Discord who are active. So we have an event going on right now. If you want to get onto the mic and chat about this, of course, you have to have some activity in the Discord server. But for the most part, anybody who has been around there can hop on here and come chat about this update. But I want to take a look at Alpha 3.20 because we've been seeing some things on it. We got another update on it this week. They've been dropping cards every once in a while, and it's a weird update. First of all, we got an update in May, which doesn't normally happen. So that kind of throws off our time schedule as to when updates normally come. Second, we got weird and interesting additions, kind of like the Hull C. but we're not really sure if that means we're going to get the economy that comes with the Hull C. And then besides all that, it's going to be the biggest update of the year. So I think there's more stuff that's going to be added that we don't know about. So I thought I'd bring on all the folks, the good, excited people of the garden, to come chat a little bit about what they're expecting. Copium is the best drug. The best. Can we change this up a little bit? Don't say nice things, he gets mad. The fish? The fish or Punji? Yeah, sit back, folks. Find your seats. I'm going to start us off here before we get started talking with anybody. And again, if anybody in the garden wants to join us, we've got 12 RSVPs for this, I think. Was it 12? 15 RSVPs for this. So we do have folks who are interested in coming on. But first, I'm going to go through this list so we can kind of look at the stuff that we're expecting so far. So, checking this out, we've got Ship Trespass, which has been talked about a little bit. This is... it's interesting that this gets its own card. This is one of those things that usually gets added, and I feel like doesn't need its own card. It says the interior of players' ships are now considered trespass zones for those without permission to enter. Permission will be granted via the party system until a more complex system for managing crew and passengers is created, which I'm hoping comes with engineering gameplay. Players trespassing aboard a ship can be attacked by the owner of the ship and any player in their party without fear of committing a crime. This is a big change, but it feels more like a quality of life change to me. I'm surprised it has its own card, but that's a big one, bringing in kind of the ability for people to defend their own ships, something that might seem standard, but is a little bit complicated to get right. We got new missions, the retrieve consignment missions. So these are kind of cargo extraction missions, a new mission type where players are tasked with locating critical items in consignment lists and safely extracting them. I believe the first sounds like it's going to be at Orison. Worried about whether this will break transport beacon gameplay since that doesn't use the party system. It might. That might do that. We got the Alpha Arena Commander changes. I'm not going to read all of these because there's a bunch, but we got the front end change to Arena Commander. New racetracks coming to Arena Commander. I think that's 3 from the... no, we got quite a few. Like 5 new racetracks coming from the PU. Or 3 from the PU, 2 are being redone. The old racetrack, New Horizon, has been reworked. It's a classic. It's like 10 years old. New map for Arena Commander as well, Jericho Station, which is where we fight against Xenothreat. So this acts as a pretty cool sort of practice area for Xenothreat missions. A new Star Marine area. This is part of Star Marine, but they're using it for a different game mode. Experimental game modes like gun game and other things that they're doing pistols only. Another racing map. I think this also, yeah, this works for racing and for fighting modes. Ow. I think my mouse just stung me. That was weird. Ow. What is that? Is there glass in my finger or something? That hurts. Yikes. That's weird. Why does it only hurt when I touch the mouse? Is this thing shocking me? Where was I? Security Post Korea. Arena Commander in the map. This is really cool because Security Post Korea is like a really combat heavy area. It's like the place in the game where everybody goes to shoot each other, pew pew. So obviously, if you can go and shoot each other pew pew in private, you'll be much better at shooting each other pew pew in public when the time comes. I think this acts as like a very cool little private training session area. We got the Hull C, which we've seen on Inside Star Citizen. And we've got wheeled vehicle improvements, which were just added. And for those who are wondering what those look like, I'll actually give you a quick example of kind of what this is going to do to ground vehicles, because we do have a direct comparison here, a side-by-side comparison. If I could just hit that file. There we go. So this is a side-by-side comparison of what we would be seeing with these changes. On the right, you have the old model of driving. I'm sorry, on the left, you have the old model of driving. On the right, you have the new model. So you can see that with the old model, you're much more airy, floaty, kind of just slipping around. Generally, just like, look at how much time you spend in the air, especially going off this little jump right here. You can tell that like the gravity is being considered, but not entirely. Whereas on the right side, when you go off that hill, the front of the car dips, you bounce against the ground. The shocks you can see are taking a lot more of that impact. So This is one side of the ground. Oh, excuse me. This is one side of the ground vehicle improvements. We've also got this on the left side. You've got Mass Effect 1 Mako powers of just sitting on the side of the wall, while on the right, it shows that gravity is starting to take effect and you can't drive up walls. Good stuff. I mean, it's not a game changer, but ground vehicles are not very fun to drive, so I think this is a great change that we need to see for us to start getting, you know, a better feel when we're racing, when we're driving around, transporting stuff. They've been working on this for a while. This is from 2021 that they were working on kind of like friction and different shocks kind of stuff. Here's some more stuff they were doing. I'm sure this is more R&D phase. This is a while ago. What I showed you before was from last year. And then there's also, what was the other change? There was another change from like, yeah, when vehicles are falling, the vehicle's constantly staying upright in the old model when falling. Now it can tumble and actually like fall, realistically speaking, which obviously is, you know, makes more sense. Oh, Ron Burgundy. Waking up to some tomato live streams, it's a good day. Yo, it's not even just me today. We're bringing on the folks, the good people, to talk about 3.20. It's going to be good. We've actually already got somebody else lined up here. I'm just going to briefly touch on Shiny Tracker. My man, Shiny Hobo putting something good together. There are a couple other things that aren't on release view that I think should be mentioned before we move on to this with this discussion. You've got, obviously, the other missions we talked about. There have been data heist missions being mentioned. Mining resource rush, obviously, they were going to do with mining what they did with Salvage. So you've always got like 20 to 30 missions of Salvage you can take, which packages it up and makes it easy for people to try it without having to go search for hours for other stuff. So the fact that that's being brought to mining as well is going to be a big change. Package extraction, that's the Crusader security thing I was talking about. I'm sorry. Retrieve consignment is something different. So 2 different types of cargo missions, more new salvage missions, which we saw in the monthly report recently. New interdiction scenarios might be there. I don't think the mission manager will be there, but it does look like they've got a lot of work done on it. I think this is going to wait for the whole Moby-Glass rework. We've got freight elevators obviously being worked on. We don't know if the cargo refactor is coming in, but that's a big part of it. Crusader Spirit is a ship we might see. Building interiors, I'm not sure will be ready by then, but it's always a possibility. New derelict sites were supposed to be coming in 3.19. They are now coming in 3.20, something like 3 or 4 dozen new derelict ships going into the game. What else is there? We've got quantum simulation. Don't think quantum, maybe we'll see something new with quantum, but I really don't think so yet. Refining is always a possibility, but I think that would be more end of year kind of time. Same with engineering, if that was going to happen this year. I don't even know if that'll happen. Vehicle munching has been worked on for a while, but we haven't heard quite enough for me to think it's coming in 3.20. Tumbrel Storm will no doubt be there though, and vehicle tractor beams I think will be there. So there are quite a few really big features that we could see in 3.20, along with obviously a lot of quality of life fixes and things that aren't really talked about but might be added. I think crafting in the Vulture and Reclaimer comes to mind as something that you don't really expect but can show up. Same goes for like the crime stat changes they had with 3.19. Those kinds of things aren't necessarily going to be on the release view like this, but they are going to be something that will make a difference. Finally, before we get started, I made a tweet. At the beginning of the year, I made a tweet to try and predict when all of these patches would come out, and I'm already wrong. So 3.18 did come in March, I believe. But 3.19 did not come in July, it came in May. I thought it would be like a month late. But I do think that 3.20 could still come in October. And if you look at Shiny Tracker over here, he does this thing where he actually groups Q4 as November, December, January, which I think is what threw me off because I thought that this patch was coming in October and everybody is saying, oh, it's the Q3 patch, which people are seeing as July, August, September. I'm not sure 3.20 is going to come out in September. I think September is the earliest we could see it, but I really don't think they're going to do that. I think they could use that extra month of time and have this be more of a launch to celebrate CitizenCon. But again, that is up to all of our guests to talk about. and tell us what they think. So, well, got all kinds of stuff up here. Don't need this up. So, without further ado, let's bring in the guests. First up, we've got Frenchie Cat in here. Let me call you in, buddy. Go ahead and jump in with us.
Hey.
Hello. You have a camera today?
No, I do not have a camera today.
All right. No problem. Let me just check all my windows and stuff. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. What about you?
Doing all right. Doing all right. Just trying to figure out which source I want to click here. So, 3.20. It's seeming like a pretty big deal. People are pretty excited for it. What do you think so far?
Yeah, I think it's definitely gonna be a pretty big one. The thing I'm the most excited for though is the overall changes of Arena Commander. Because like sometimes you don't have like an hour to just put into the game just to get ready. You just want to get like you got an hour to play and you just want to quickly get one in.
Yeah.
Just like those overall changes making that like even more possible, more viable.
Yeah.
You jump in a quick hour, do some FPS or some dogfights, and then you're done. It's kind of nice. Or like practicing things too, where you don't want to just risk losing all your stuff for your character or anything like that. The claim times in game, you can just go do all that stuff in Arena Commander instead.
Yeah, what do you think of them adding actual locations from the PU so people can basically like master a location without ever having to step foot into like a conflict with another player?
I think that's cool. I like that because like you can use it like as like a ground for like training as well, right? For like org events and stuff like that, where like you really learn the area without risking anything. I think it's a good thing to add. I think it'll be pretty neat.
Yeah.
Make it more challengeful too for like when you do it in PU, because more people will be more comfortable with how it works. It'll be a lot harder to like sneak up on them and do all kind of stuff like that.
Yeah, it's gonna be just really nice to be able to like jump into Star Citizen and actually throw an event, just successfully throw an event in like an hour instead of taking an hour to get ready and then do it.
Yeah, no, that will be really nice to be able to do that.
So the Arena Commander changes to you are kind of the biggest so far coming to 320?
Honestly, yeah, I'd say for me that's definitely the biggest.
What about maybe not stuff that's on like the release view, but potential things that people are talking about might be in the patch later? Like talking about a lot of different missions, cargo refactor. What else is there?
The cargo refactor would be really nice. That would be pretty awesome to get.
With what did you watch Inside Star Citizen this week?
No, I haven't watched it yet.
Okay.
I really should, because apparently it's touched a lot on that, eh?
Yeah, well, that's the thing is like they talk a lot about the whole sea, but not really the cargo refactor.
Right, because how they gonna make that work? Because currently, if you had the old sea, like you're not gonna do anything with it, right? There's
Right.
a lot of changes that need to happen for it to be actually useful.
So they're
But being able to share your cargo with your party would be one, right? When you can actually justify just everybody loads all their like work orders all at once into the one ship.
yeah, that would be
That'd
good.
be
That really would come down to them. They need to fix the ownership system, right? Like you can't give something to somebody in any meaningful way right now.
Which is wild. Like you should be able at least like in the party system, just how like if we're in a party, I can take your ship, I can enter it, it's unlocked for me.
Yeah.
I can grab it and go with it, right?
Yeah.
So like they should treat cargo kind of the same way. In a party, whatever cargo is acquired belongs to everybody, so everyone can just grab it and do whatever they want with it.
Yeah. Then you'd have to figure out. I mean, the hard part is like, do you put the repayment back to sort of an honor system? Do you make something in game that like forces people to give the money back after they've sold cargo because it tracks that it came from that person? And then how do you define whether or not somebody was given the cargo or stole it from them?
Yeah, that's a pretty tough one. You'd almost have to have it like almost like a beacon set up where like the payment's already kind of like already is set up in there,
Mm-hmm.
and when it's complete, it just goes. But at the same time, yeah, I think right now you'd have to do the honor system, which can, like, with your friends, it's whatever because like you can trust each other, but it makes it harder with doing it with random people in the verse. Like someone like you do the no ship gameplay, so like it'd be harder to justify getting someone that's like random doing that to help you over your friends because you'd be
Right.
like, they could just leave with everything and just say F you, you're not getting
Yep.
it's all mine now, right?
Which is the nice part about being in an org. It's like the one reason to do it, so you know you could trust those people. But yeah, I mean, if you want to just jump into the game and go play with somebody, it's super hard to do it right now because you just have to trust people. Yeah. And when it comes to cargo, like you said, you can't even pick somebody else's cargo up right now.
Yeah, no, it'd be nice to have like the rec a kind of reputation system where like you can actually trust other players because like even now, like when I do bounties, oftentimes like I'll have salvageable wrecks, and I try to sell them in the global chat, and nobody wants to ever come because they're always like, "Oh, this guy's just trying to pirate me."
Right.
Because there's no way of like knowing that I'm actually like sitting on a pile of salvage.
Yeah. So we also have different missions coming up. Like I said, we've got the where was it? Data heist missions. Mining missions are going to be applied kind of like Salvage was. Package extraction,
Nice.
Retrieve consignment missions. What do you think of that group of new missions? Do missions interest you, or are you more sandbox gameplay kind of?
No, I'm definitely interested in the mission. I like that. It's nice to have like a more official way of doing it over like just kind of like coming up with it. Like the data heist is something that could be really cool. Finally have some kind of data gameplay, and
you think it's going to
justify using like an MSR or something like that.
Do you think it would actually be real data or just like a placeholder?
I don't know. I want to say be real data, but knowing how it kind of goes with new stuff, I feel like it would be a placeholder to start, and like some kind of like V2 or V3 of it, you would get actual data. But for the beginning, it'd be more like you're just grabbing like a whatever placeholder and
see,
almost a delivery mission.
I feel like it would just be whatever they're doing with the Ghost Hollow mission that they're doing right now, where you're just transmitting data off-site kind of thing. And then there's the package extraction, which is like getting classified components from Ninetales, and retrieve consignment, which sounds like it's maybe going to be like a larger version of the box deliveries we have right now. It's like a cargo mission, but it gets assigned to you. What do you think of that?
I think that's also really cool. I'm all for the more missions, the better, especially stuff like that. I think like retrieving a component from Ninetale will be pretty fun because it's really I enjoy doing that, like going down to the relic outpost, shooting the Ninetales, grabbing the stuff. So having like an actual mission different than that, where you can actually go and either kill them or just kind of sneakily steal it, I'm assuming that'd be pretty neat.
Love shooting Ninetales.
Oh yeah.
Going back to the ownership stuff, some conversation going on in chat. Behave yourselves, by the way, chat. This is he's a mod, so be careful.
Oh yeah, I gotta pay more attention. Sorry.
They're talking about kind of like a reputation system or something that we can use to know if people are bad or good. And we have a reputation system right now in game. Have you ever made use of that? Like not reputation for missions, but like when you do beacons, there's a star rating system. You ever seen that used? Yeah.
I've used it a few times because I've had people fake medical rescue to try to just like kill me and take my loot.
Yeah.
So these guys I'd always go like bad rep all the time. And then because then when you make your beacon, you can choose what kind of rating it goes to, right?
Right.
You can choose like just 5 stars. So if someone's been enough that they go down below 5, they won't get your beacons. So it is there, but it's not super clear that the option is available.
Yeah, and you can't even really tell if it's working. Like you rate somebody, but you get no feedback that the rating went through. So it's like, is anybody else going to see that at some point, or did that just go off somewhere into the back of the ship backlog?
No way to know if it actually works here, right?
Is there anything else that you were excited to see in 320, or maybe that they're working on this year for monthly reports or ISC that you thought might be in 320 that you'd look forward to?
No, honestly, that's pretty much. I try to keep my expectation very low to not get disappointed with the patch.
Mm-hmm.
So all that stuff is kind of like the stuff that they put in like tentative view is what I like mostly get excited about, and I try to stay away from the
Progress tracker
because otherwise it's easy to get disappointed.
Yeah, it's a good idea. And when do you think it might come out, since we're on this weird schedule this year?
I think your bet in October is. I think October is more likely.
You think it would be
October or November? I don't think we'll get it sooner than that.
You think it'll be like they launch it at CitizenCon or just in October at some point?
I think just in October at some point.
Okay. Yeah.
But I think if they don't have it ready for CitizenCon, they will wait after CitizenCon to drop it. They wouldn't drop it during it.
I don't know, man. They tend to drop things. You would think. I think the launch of 3.18 made everybody a little bit wary of when are they going to drop an update, because they did it on like a random Friday. That's
true.
Yeah. So who knows? I guess CitizenCon technically is on the weekend, so they wouldn't drop it then. But I'd be interested to see if they try and use CitizenCon to boost the marketing of that patch.
Oh, I'm sure they will. Knowing them, they definitely will.
Yeah.
They're going to try to cash in as much as they can.
Yeah, well, better have the features to back it up.
Right?
All right, Frenchie. Well, thank you so much for jumping in and talking a little bit about 3.20. Yeah, no problem.
Yep.
Have a good one.
All right, have a good one.
All right, our next guest is Punji, also from the org, also running events, also holding down. I mean, you guys all know who Punji is. Come on. In chat. Toes Gang. What's up?
Toes Gang.
Toes. How you doing? Are you doing a camera today?
Yeah, I've got just something a little more interesting than the basic Discord profile picture.
Look at that thing. All right, let me toss that in here real quick. Whoops. Oh, nope, that's the wrong link.
We don't have to do that.
No. I've got this. But why don't you go ahead and start telling me, what about 3.20 is on your mind? What are you excited for?
I'm excited that it's happening. I'm kind of excited for I'm really excited for the Arena Commander stuff, but it also kind of feels like they're padding out their homework with all the independent listings for Arena Commander.
Yeah, it's just a little bit weird how that's all on there like that.
Yeah, and then as far as PU specific stuff goes, we've just got wheeled vehicle handling and the hull C.
Right. And
plus trespassing, but trespassing I think is gonna run into complications. Like someone was mentioning, the beacon, the transport beacon system isn't gonna work well with that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's gonna be open to abuse there.
So outside of the Arena Commander stuff, it is still looking pretty light on the official roadmap.
Right. Yeah, as far as new things to tide us over until whatever the next patch is, it's looking pretty light, and I guess leading to the next patch is concern that this is kind of feeling like what happened with PES and Pcache, where they went radio silent, and then it was revealed a year and a half later that, oh hey, we got this new thing, by the way, radio silent because we ran into a brick wall for Pcache.
And sorry, I missed, what did you think that was going to happen for?
I'm kind of thinking this is gonna be kind of the holding pattern for the next few patches. Is we're gonna get rather light patches while we wait for them to figure out what their workaround for 4.0 is. Assuming that's what's happening with 4.0.
Mm-hmm. So you think they're just kind of in a holding pattern? I'm hoping 3.20 ends up being a big update.
Yeah, I'm hoping for a surprise update sort of stuff, where it's just a whole bunch of stuff gets thrown in there because they're closer than they thought, or they know they'll make it.
Mm-hmm.
There was a couple patches like last year that were like that, right? Where they seemed light as we were coming up to them, and then all of a sudden it was kind of a fire hose of new additions.
Yeah, 3.18 even kind of got that, like just randomly got racing and some other stuff thrown in really late.
Mhm.
Well, it was late until the patch got delayed 3 more months. What about like the missions and stuff they've been talking about? Do you think that stuff will make it in?
I could see mining making it in, but if mining was going to make it in, I'm kind of curious as to why it wasn't added to the release view.
Yeah, that's true. Especially because
And
they were
arena command. Go ahead.
no, you.
Oh, I was gonna say, and even the arena commander stuff. One of the things I'm not seeing is something they talked about working, like trying to work towards, is the ability to make private lobbies. I don't know if that's just like assumed to be in there, or if that does need its own card. But I'm kind of surprised to not see it have its own card, since that is also an equally big deal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the fact that they're all split up into specific cards does kind of mean like if something doesn't have a card, does that mean it's not going to be in it? But this also does say makes switching modes, vehicles, loadouts, as well as creating lobbies to be a more fluid experience. They don't really say creating private lobbies though, but
Right.
I would hope so. Yeah. What else do you think? Let's see. Here's one. Do you think they would update anything economy based?
I want to say yes, since we've got something that's coming in with what was it, like 4,000, almost 5,000 SEU worth of cargo space on it.
Yeah, the whole
I feel
LC.
I feel like that should require an economy update, even if it's just the addition of like a new commodity that can only be traded station to station. But no, I don't see any major changes to the economy coming with that. Because again, I feel like that's something they would announce. The cargo haulers are very hungry for economy updates, and they've not said anything about the actual economy. Just a thing that's going to come in and potentially ruin the economy more than it already is.
Yeah. So that I think points towards the actual release date of this update, because that makes a big difference. Like they call it Q3, and I know Q3 is technically July, August, September. But I also think of October as kind of being included in there. So it feels like there would be a huge difference between a patch released in August and a patch released in October, right? Because if it's released in October, they still have 3 or 4 months of ISC they need to fill up interesting content with. Do you think it's possible that they're just like really trying to hold things back so they can start to build up that hype going into August and September?
If they're holding it back for October, I'm assuming Chris Roberts is having them hold a whole bunch of stuff back from the release view just so he can announce it at CitizenCon.
Oh, think it'll wait that long? God, that would be miserable. We just, it just looks empty until the two weeks before.
Right.
And now,
but yeah, so I think like I do see that they could be holding a bunch of stuff back just to further pad out ISC. But has that happened with any of the features currently listed on there? Like, is there anything that they put on that only came after it was mentioned in an ISC? Because I don't think that's been what's happened so far with this in the last release view.
I feel like something that happened with something in 3.19, but I might be wrong about that.
I mean, there is obviously the Fury, but that's kind of its own category. That's them selling a ship.
It was the tractor beam stuff, the attach detach components. I don't think that showed up on the release view until they mentioned it in the ISC.
Oh,
I think that was the case, but I might be wrong about that. I just remember being really excited for it before it was on the release view. And then yeah, the Mirai Fury was like that too.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. There's a possibility. Jared has said in the past that like, or I guess maybe not said, but sort of insinuated that they had, to get the right amount of content for a quarter, And I think the release schedule of these patches this year have really messed that up. So I don't know. That's why I'm super confused and wondering what the heck is going to go on for the next 3 months. Because, like, even if they did show us everything coming in 3.20 in the next 2 months, what do they do after that?
I mean, I guess that does there need to be content for an ISE? Like, they go on breaks from ISE all the time. Like, why not just have, like, they could easily just have fluff stuff, or even just be like, yep, no ISE next couple of weeks, because we're out of things that we can talk about.
Yeah, I think that would hurt their marketing, but they could do that.
I mean,
it's just a good way to get people excited for the next update.
I guess, but is there a whole lot of excitement? Because again, it's just Arena Commander, as far as we know, Arena Commander and the death of the economy.
Well, this is supposed to be the biggest update of the year.
Really?
The third quarter update, yeah, generally is the biggest. They try to make that the biggest one. That's what they would focus on. I think historically it's been the one they try to put a lot of stuff in.
We've also had that kerfuffle with 318 and 319, which I think might have pushed some things around.
Yeah, so that's the big kicker, is like it's all off schedule now.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we'll have to see. I think there's the potential for the update to really grow and become a lot bigger, but also obviously right now, outside of the Arena Commander stuff and stuff that we just know is on the monthly reports in progress but not on the release view, it's looking pretty small. All right, Bungie.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for jumping in and telling me all the things. Yeah, of course. See you around.
See ya.
Ron Burgundy, such a homie. Thank you so much for the super chat. Or wait, no, sorry. That's a sub. You subbed. Subbed with your Prime. Appreciate you. Let me... There we go. So, that is... It's a good point. If you ignore the... Let's go back to this. If you ignore Arena Commander on 3.20... then you're looking at a pretty small patch with what we have already. But again, it depends a lot on when this is coming out. Like I said, much like how Shiny Hobo has the tracker on here, including August all the way to October, I think that there is a lot of time that we could see in between now and when the next patch comes out. And like Punji said, there is a generally 3-week break after we get a patch where they don't do ISC. So that can mark one of these months out. But that still gives us 2.5 months of time, which is 10 episodes of ISC that they would have to fill with content or just get rid of. And they could. Oh, what the heck? They could definitely... they could fill it up with time, or they could skip episodes. I don't really know what they're going to do with that. But the whole mystery around when is 3.20 coming, I think, is what's driving a lot of the uncertainty around what's going to be in it. You the only one thinking that 320 is coming out in August? I think people probably assume that as well. But again, it depends on what they're trying to do with the patch. October release would put 320 for Q4, wouldn't it? Yes, technically Q4, but I don't know. I think it would make the most sense. Well, I just have to see. The Hull C is going to change a lot of things. The Hull C being on the release view without anything else on there is a little bit concerning. But, I mean, even the US gameplay feature team is on here. I guess that would probably be for things like tractor beams. So I don't know. There's no real sign that there's a big amount of economy work going on next to the Hull C. All we know is the freight elevators, which are the implementation of systems and content for players to physically load and unload cargo to and from their ships by conveying cargo to and from hangars, landing pads, garages, and docking collars. That work is scheduled to end in Q4. And then we've got a quantum simulation stuff scheduled to end in Q3, which undoubtedly will go longer than that. And we've got the Hull C, which I believe is already actually finished on here. So they're probably not going to have that on here, but it's a confusing thing, and it would be nice if they were talking a little bit more about it, but maybe they don't even know yet. I think 3.20 release end of August, 1st of September to pull attention away from Starfield. I don't think they're gonna need to or should be caring about pulling attention away from Starfield. I think this game and Starfield are at two different places in their lifetime, and Star Citizen does not need that kind of attention. It really doesn't. Star Citizen should aim to stay as small as it can while still maintaining a large community and growing, because if I was making this game, I would not want it to be seen by the masses yet. I'd want it to be chilling and cooking, slow cooking, feeling good, getting hot, so that by the time it's actually ready for Prime, then they can show it off. Maybe that's a year after Starfield, maybe that's 2, who knows when it is, but I think this year, it probably wouldn't be a good idea for them to try and like go against Starfield or anything like that. I don't think that they really cater to the same player, but they are in the same genre. 3.19 is a branch of 318, but not 320. Yeah, 320 is going to be its own thing. So it'll be interesting to see what the difference we see in 320 versus 319, because technically 319, we are still on the same patch that they implemented PES. They haven't changed the code base from what 318 was, so we don't know about major engine changes or things that they might have done to optimize this further than what we've already seen, I guess. Marketing disagrees with me. With what exactly? Does anyone know when the Cutlass is getting its tractor beam turret? Probably whenever the rest of the vehicle tractor beams come in. Let's see. Oh, looks like we got Panic switched in here. Always a good time talking to Panic. Let's get him in here. See what you got to say. Hey, buddy. How's it going?
Going all right. How's it going with you?
Good. You doing a camera for me today? Nice.
Yep. I figured I'd make myself a little presentable.
All right. Let me get that thrown up in here real quick. How you been? You been playing 319?
Yeah. I think I played like 4 or 5 hours last night, and then like another 2 or 3 hours on patch day.
And
it's been better than before.
Have you done any 319.1 stuff on the new patch today? Or is that what you were talking about?
Not specific stuff. I mostly was just trying to do like cargo stuff. I was messing around just to see if I could break the ASOP terminals, things like that.
Okay.
I haven't been able to break an ASOP terminal, so I'll take that as a win.
Love it. I love to hear it. All right. What are you thinking of 3.20?
I have a little bit of a different opinion than everyone else that's been on so far. I think we're actually going to get 320 at the beginning or middle of September, and then we'll get like a .1 patch during CitizenCon.
Okay.
So I think that gives like enough time for them to like do a .1 patch. The other thing is I think they're specifically doing Arena Commander now because I think 320 is going to be kind of a flyover patch, I'm going to say.
Okay.
They have, like, from what I saw, I was like looking over the progress tracker for like different things, and they have a bunch of things that are kind of like finishing up now, which I think are going to be like behind the scenes stuff that we might see in 320. Like the ATC refactor and all of that stuff is going in, the security network stuff is going in. So I think we'll like see quality of life improvements, but not necessarily like big gameplay improvements. So that I feel like they're just going to use 320 to stabilize all the for lack of a better word, shit show we've seen from 318 and 319.
Okay. The security system would be cool because that's something that they need for bounty hunting, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like I was just looking through and I'm like, a lot of those are like finishing up like at the end of June or like right into July.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, that usually gives you like a couple of weeks or a month or two to like integrate that. So I'd be surprised if they're just leaving it lingering, but also like they're not necessarily tied to any like big gameplay things. So I think like I think the security network thing is for like the ship trespass stuff, which they've already said is coming in for like 320. So I think there will be like smaller changes and we'll like see some improvements, but like I don't think the cargo refactor is another example. I think they're not mentioning it because they're just giving it to us in pieces now. Like with the Hull 20, we're getting a piece of it where now you have to like go to the station and request for them to load the cargo. and then I think like we're just going to get pieces of it as we get through like the next couple of patches with meshing and stuff.
So you don't think
this like big thing?
You don't think we'll see like freight elevators in 320?
They have the progress tracker freight elevators going through into December, so I'm thinking that's Q4.
Okay. So you think Q4 is going to be the big patch this year? And they're just kind of preparing for it with 320.
Yeah, I think despite their issues with Pez, I think they're going to try to get meshing in.
Huh.
I don't know if they'll succeed, but I think they're going to try.
Because
a lot of the pyro stuff is like finishing up in the next quarter for like the stations and the setup stuff. So
yeah.
I think they're going to just make a good try for it.
How do you feel about the communication surrounding server meshing right now?
I'm okay with them being quiet about it. Like I actually think we got one of those rare moments of honesty with like the Santokyai on Wednesday, where it's like, how's it going? We failed a review. I suspect for server meshing, there's going to be a lot of those issues. Like, I think you can kind of see like they reworked the entire ASOP system between 3.19 and 3.19.1. So I think they're just finding a lot of things they need to fix. So I think them being quiet on server meshing is probably because as they fix all of these things, they're probably having to do like bigger refactors and stuff. But if they tell us things about it, then, you know, people will all of a sudden be like, oh, you said it was going to work this way though. And like, they'll be like, oh, you don't know what you're doing. It's better to keep quiet about it sometimes until you're closer to being done.
I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like it just reminds me of like what Punji was saying. It reminds me of God, what was it? iCache. You know?
What?
It was kind of,
I think.
Go ahead.
iCache went in, but iCache didn't work.
Yeah.
So from a technical level, server meshing isn't like an iCache like technology. So like when iCache was like their particular implementation of how to like persist data.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you could think of it like like a product almost. Server meshing isn't really a product, it's an idea. So you can do server meshing a bunch of different ways. So by not like giving it a fancy name other than the server meshing, they can change how they need to implement it without it like being some massive shift.
Yeah, but
because like when you say iCache to like a technical person, it tells them, okay, this is like a specific type of storage mechanism, versus server meshing, which is like, okay, this is just a way to make servers talk to each other as a type of networking.
Yeah, but
so it's a little different.
But with iCache, the problem really is that we just didn't know what was going on for probably, I want to say 8 months. We like something happened and we didn't know. And you know, I'm not the kind of person that thinks they should tell us every single thing that's going on. But I do think that since we got that first messaging about server meshing earlier this year, it clearly caused a lot of confusion in the community. And I think, you know, it doesn't have to be an ISC, doesn't have to be a road to 4.0, even though they said they were going to keep doing that. It could be a Spectrum post or something, but I do think it would help for them to kind of clarify some of the things that there were questions on about that, and maybe help people. Because right now, there are sort of two different theories going around that server meshing will be broken down in some way that allows it to work with a pyro that maybe is like a different server, or it's the jump point is its own server or something like that. And then there are also people who are like, well, no, they're going to keep going along with what they want to do with server meshing. It's just going to take longer. And I think it would be nice to hear somebody from the company not even say what's going to happen, just say, here's what we know right now.
So I can give you a little bit of insight into the development process and developers just from my perspective. So right now it's June, and I think that we're targeting, if I remember correctly, the prediction kind of was like we would get like a 3.21 or a 4.0 patch in PTU in December, and then they were going to try to do like a live release in March next year, if I remember correctly. Like they wanted to do that long thing like they did with Pez this year. I might be remembering that wrong, but I think that was their like target.
Was that from the letter from the chairman?
The big chairman letter thing from like months ago. So I might be remembering wrong. But if this is on the premise that that's sort of accurate, which is they're telling us about a possible release in December, right? That's 6 months from now. Most developers are really, really, really bad at projecting what they're going to be working on or where they will be more than a month out. That's why like most sprints are like 2-week sprints, and then most planners are only planning like 3, maybe 4 sprints out for like the nitty-gritty details on what they're working on, and then they'll have like more broad strokes as they get further and further out. So like my teams, for example, not game development teams, I know very well what I'm doing for the next month, and I have an idea of what's happening for like the 2 sprints for the following month, but I have a very fuzzy idea beyond that. So like them coming in and saying, oh, we think we're doing this and this in December is very, it's not helpful. It's kind of like why they shortened the roadmap, because they have this like broad stroke plans of all these things we want to deliver, and developers are always over optimistic, being like, oh yeah, of course we can get this done and we can solve these problems within these timeframes. And the further that time frame gets out, the more their ability to say, oh yeah, this is going to work, gets away from them.
Yeah, I get that. And I'm looking at the letter, and they said fourth quarter of 2023 they want to do Pyro. This is back when they thought that PES was going to launch into the game in January, and maybe even before they realized how much of a delay that would cause. So I don't think we'll see Pyro this year, just based off of this letter. But there's also,
I think we'll see it in BTU.
Okay, I'd love that.
I'm optimistic on that. I just think they'll stay in PU for a very long time.
I would love if it made it even just to Evocati this year. That would be cool to know that's happening. But there's also, they're talking, the next step after the PES being put into the game was separating the replication layer. And, PES has now been in the game for coming on 3 months. We also know with PES that they were working on the matchmaking system, which they talked to us back in September of last year. And I feel like those two things are things that at least we could hear something about now, because, this isn't server meshing in December. This was something that they were expecting to do shortly after PES, before they moved on to server meshing. And, I
don't think we're going to hear much about the replication layer, but I think they're just going to do it. Like, it'll be one of those things that will be trickling in with the patches, and they'll be separating it. I do agree. I actually really do want to hear about the matchmaking, because that's just been a source of frustration, I know, for a lot of people. I would love for them to give us a talk about something like that, because that's definitely something they should like know what they want to do with now, especially if they're wanting to do it with meshing. Like, I feel like they would have the requirements down, so they can be like, hey, this is what we're thinking for matchmaking, and this is like our plan for getting it in. So I do agree on that part.
Yeah, I hope we hear something about that soon. I understand they had to get a lot of stuff out of the way with 3.19 and obviously with 3.19.1 helping to patch that stuff up. So I do hope now that we're in the summer and they're fully focused on 3.20, and I'm sure plenty of people are still working on PES stuff, but I do hope that alleviates them to talk a little more.
Yeah, I don't think they're fully focused on 3.20. Like I said, I think 3.20 is a flyover patch. I think we'll see a bunch of quality of life stuff underneath the hood, but I think it's more just like we're just going to be like laying foundation work to get some of this stuff for meshing in play that players won't notice. Because I think that's why there's such a big focus on Arena Commander. It's like they can do all this Arena Commander stuff, which is like, I don't want to trivialize the Arena Commander stuff. I'm actually really excited for it.
Yeah,
but it just gives players something that doesn't impact the PU space as much, like while they're trying to like get all this other groundwork stuff in place. So it at least gives players like a bunch of content to like munch on until they figure it out. So like I was looking at the deliverables, I'm like, this is like 80% Arena Commander, though. Ship Trespass is pretty cool, I guess it's useful, and the Hull C and the cargo stuff for that's useful too. But yeah, I don't think we'll see more than, a couple of mission things here and there, some quality of life stuff underneath the hood, that we might not really like get huge impact from. And then, we'll get Arena Commander.
Whatever they're doing, I do hope that the difficulties that PES caused are mainly behind them, and they have some more room to breathe and communicate more clearly with us.
I think the next thing, and I hope the next thing they're targeting is like they were very confident about like the item loss fixes from 3.19.1,
Mm-hmm.
and I think they for me, I had relatively good luck. I followed the instructions they pointed out, so I was just like, all right, this worked for me. I only lost a couple of things, but like I've seen people saying like I've lost like entire things, and they said we weren't going to lose things. So I was kind of like, I'm hoping they kind of get that stuff solved out, because those types of bugs are the things that keep me up at night. Not for the game, just in general. Like if I'm working on a problem or I'm working on like data issues, like missing pieces and stuff are the types of bugs that keep me up at night.
Yeah, I get it.
So those are also really hard to just like track down. So
Yeah.
those are the ones they need to fix for meshing.
I hope they get them. I really do. They've got a
Yes.
tough road ahead of them. All right, Panicked. Was
right.
there anything else you were particularly excited about, or is that it?
Nope, that's about it. I'm hoping they just keep trucking along. It's still a little bit too early for us to see if we'll get meshing on time. But I'm hoping it will be just fashionably late, not too late.
I hope so. Oh boy, because I mean, we saw what happened with PES. I'm ready to see meshing push into next year. Yeah, not excited about it, but I'm ready for it.
I will say I will accept some delays or whatever on some of that stuff if at like CitizenCon they announce like a Squadron 42 release date or something. If they like say we're releasing at this date in the future, we've set the date, here's all the stuff with pre-order, I'll be like, all right, you know what? Okay, that's fine.
Part of me just feels like they should not announce Squadron 42 until like a month before it's gonna go. Like, it's already good, it's published, it's ready for download, we know it's gonna happen, so we're announcing it. Otherwise it's just gonna be constant jokes for like the entire marketing cycle.
I would just love like a sizzle reel and like a short gameplay video, release date, go, and I'll be like, all right, if you have a date and it's in the next year, I'll forgive you for the PU delays.
We will have to see.
If not, I want PU on time.
A lot of stuff is going to need to happen in the next 9 months with Star Citizen, though. It feels like like the Steam has built the pressure. Now we need a way to release it. All right, Panic. Thank you so much for joining me today. Appreciate you. Hope you have a good time.
Have a good one.
Yep. You too. All right, my folks. So that is it for today. That's all the guests we had. So I'm going to go ahead and close this up. And before we get back to, doing whatever else we're going to do, let's take a look at this real quick. This is the letter from the chairman he was talking about. This was released in December. Has a lot of really good explaining. I wish we just got one of these every quarter, to be honest. Not a letter from the chairman, but like a post-mortem kind of, here's what the next couple quarters we're planning on. This was just a very nice insight into Star Citizen itself. But at the end of it, they talk about 3.18 and PES. Now, when they released this, remember, they didn't have PES out, so they didn't know what was actually coming. And they were talking about things like having, PES in for January. Clearly, they missed that date. But if you keep going down, they start to talk a little bit about what they expect for the rest of this year. Now, keep in mind, we saw a pretty hefty delay in 3.18 coming out. So I do think this will all be shifted. As always, we should just shift this all one quarter. Let's take a look at what they say here. Now, the large caveat with this goal for server meshing in the fourth quarter of 2023, I think they were aiming for Evocati with this date anyways, but the large caveat is that complicated engineering work that involves a completely new paradigm, requires a host of new backend services and technology, is hard to estimate and schedule accurately, as the issues and problems that can come up along the way are hard to foresee, as no one has implemented this system before and plans rarely survive contact with users, especially at scale. That was a long sentence, man. Let me just double check real quick. Okay. That was a long sentence, dude. This has been true for PES, as it is no secret. We got delays, yada, yada, yada. Okay. So beyond this, there are a host of other exciting features and content we have planned for 2023. Pyro, with its assorted planets, moons, settlements, space stations, and assorted factions and AI populations being the headline. but we're also will be rolling out the new item resource system, it's engineering, in ships, which replaces the old pipe system with a much more dynamic and scalable system. Something that they were aiming to have done in 2023. I don't know if that work would be delayed by what was going on with PES, but it would be cool if we saw engineering this year. After that, they say bounty hunting with a full tracking system and the ability to actively restrain and transport both players and AI. It's another really big one. One that, would it be this year? Both of these features, if you look in the progress tracker, have work going on pretty late. Bounty hunting V2 has work going on until December of this year. And resource management, or I think engineering, maybe they call it. No, resource management has work going until September. So that would be more likely, but still, those are pretty late. After that, they mention persistent hangars with freight elevators, allowing you to call up your stored inventory or place things into storage. This is something that we were hoping would come with the next version of the cargo refactor, which we do hope comes with the Hull C, but like Panic Switch did mention, even on the progress tracker, the freight elevator is going until December. Now, it doesn't mean they can't launch it in Q3. It could be that they are... Oh, I need to stop this recording. Oh, no, I don't. I just cut off the podcast. Oh, well. That doesn't mean that they're going to do it in Q3. That they could launch freight elevators before the work is finished on it and keep working on it while it's live. We've seen that done with a couple different things. In fact, I think there was something on here that very thing was done with. No, I don't know what it was. There was something else that was already launched but still showed work being done. That does happen sometimes, so it's always possible, but we don't know. After that, towards the end of the... See, they say all of this, and then they say towards the end of the year. So this is probably the stuff that'll end up in the next year. We should see some of the more Squadron 42 related work arrive in Star Citizen, like the flexible player traversal, which is EVA Tier 2, with ledges and ladders. Greatly improved interaction system we've seen. FPS scanning. Oh god, FPS scanning. The new star map would be probably the single biggest addition of this year, if it came this year. MFDs using the more performant and flexible building blocks UI system and much deeper AI content. I do think the MFD update's probably not going to come until we see the HUD update. And deeper combat AI obviously is still dependent on the servers. So, you know, they're talking a lot of good talk, but how much of this stuff will actually come this year? Considering we haven't seen any of these things, not a single one of these things, not the resource system, not pyro, not bounty hunting, not persistent hangars, not freight elevators, not player traversal, no platforming, no interaction system, no MFDs, no star map, no scanning, no UI updates. No Vulkan. I mean, we've seen a little bit about the Vulkan graphics API. Not a single one of these things is scheduled for 3.20. So that would mean all of these things would have to come in December or be delayed to the next year if they weren't going to be added. So I do hope that we start to see at least a couple more of these things added to this patch, because I can never imagine even half of the stuff coming in one patch in the end of the year. So we will see. But that is currently the outlook for 3.20. And I think over the next couple of months, we'll see a couple of additional things added there and maybe get some more context for the year. But until then, I guess just cross your fingers. Anyways, thanks everybody for coming to the Greenhouse podcast. This was, I think, the first episode of our community podcast we'll be releasing finally as a podcast. Thanks to all the guests who joined me today, and thanks to all the viewers who came live. Cheers. Now, next up, we will be... Oh, man. Normally what I would be doing when it's 3.20... That's a great question, Cantor. Normally what I would be doing is I actually had this all prepped for you guys. I have a new thing that we want to do. We want to start to give you guys a sort of a summary of what happened in the previous couple weeks in Star Citizen. Now, I don't think I'm going to be doing it today just because that podcast went a little bit longer than I planned, and we have an event coming up in about 40 minutes. But I think this is going to be a good way for us to all kind of review the news from the last couple of weeks. Obviously, we're not going to go through each one of these videos that came out, but what I want to do is kind of touch on the main aspects of each of these things, just to offer people a little bit of a summary of what they've missed. Upload that as a video as well. So this week, like I said, we're not really going to do a whole thing, but this is what we are going to be calling Tomato Talks. These are Tomato Talks live, and there'll be little news summaries about everything that happened in the last couple weeks. So starting from a few weeks ago, we actually had an ISC episode with the Tumbril Storm. And they were talking about ground vehicles and what their uses are for. And we started, I guess, with the Lynx. The RSI Lynx is a luxurious version of the Ursa, which basically just means it has some nice seats in it and a bigger window, which is cool. It's another ground vehicle. It's one off the backlog. It's something that they needed to do. We're glad they did it, but I don't think anybody is that crazy interested in it just yet. I think it's still going to be a little while before ground vehicles kind of shine and become their prime. Transportation missions, escort missions, objectives, even NPCs driving these things are going to be a big up for the game. That just doesn't happen right now. Besides that, though, we also got to learn about the Tumbril Storm. This is a small sort of a scout fast strike tank. It's a single seater. Obviously, it's smaller than the Nova, but still just as wide. And it has a very, very obvious weak spot with the driver in the front there, but that's how it is. And you can see that it's pretty well detailed. It was actually in gray box already by the time we saw it. It's currently getting more polishing done right now, so this will definitely be ready for 3.20. It's got spaces for all the components and everything. It's got different skins. It's got a place for your weapons, obviously a place for you to sit down. So they've got this pretty far along the way, which is something they've been doing a lot more with these early vehicles. After that, though, we jumped into a vehicle roundtable for Invictus. Wasn't as good as I think last year's Invictus episode was, but we did get some interesting information from it. I'll let you guys have a little sneak peek at what they had to say about the ship backlog here.
Of ships, and at what point in the game can we expect larger ships such as the Kraken, Polaris, and Perseus? Now, this one's a when question. Let's go with the core here. How are we expecting to work through this backlog?
Cool. I'll start, and then others can chime in if they want. So the last year or so, we've been really sort of improving and just making the pipeline work better. Mark and Corey have done a great job revitalizing all the documentation that sort of I wrote years ago and we've just lived with. But because I've done more and more leadership and directorship, I've not been so hands-on with things. So they've taken that over and built the pipeline. The last few ships we've released have gone through sort of that new pipeline and things have mostly gone smoother. Still doing some tweaks as we go. But ultimately, at the end of the day, big ships need a lot of resources to make them. And where we want to get to is a place where we're still delivering the same amount of content as we do now a year, as well as 1 to 2 capitals a year on top of that and supporting all the other teams like we do. And at the end of the day, that just needs more people. So
you want to get to the point of delivering 1 to 2 capitals a ship.
Yes.
You're not saying that we are at that point, right?
We're not at that point yet. We're building to that point. So the last few months we've been starting to expand the team, which people have probably seen with the introduction of the Montreal vehicle team. And we're also looking for more artists in the UK. So if people are watching,
please
apply.
You know any good leads?
Yeah,
lead artists watching?
To replace Corey.
Yeah, give us a shout.
So they're focusing on trying to get more content out. It's 1 to 2 capital ships a year would be crazy, especially since we've seen one in like 6 years since then. But they are working on the Polaris. Can confirm.
One of the most voted up questions here is about the Polaris. Simply put, is the Polaris actually in production? It shows that it is on the progress tracker, but the Apollo was once on the progress tracker at one point as well, and priorities change, and yada, yada, yada. So we'll go to Camera John here. There's one more. Camera John. There we go. That just sounded like Ben wanted the question.
No, I didn't.
You were talking crap.
I think it's only fair.
Ben.
All right.
So is the Polaris in production?
I'm going to start with the Apollo.
Let's talk about capital ships and when they're in development. So Apollo.
The Apollo is now a capital ship.
Yeah, it grew so much.
Don't.
All right, we'll talk about the Polaris. So the Polaris is I'd say it's more in pre-production. Like, we are spending time investigating it at the moment. As we've already kind of hinted on, when it comes to doing our capital ships, we want to make sure that we're tackling them in a way that allows us to scale up to not just do one capital ship, and we can tick off a few more from the lineup. It is like literally the last couple of weeks we've been looking at it, breaking down the concept, breaking down what is involved with actually delivering it. I think what people need to understand as well is, this is quite an old ship. The concept is quite old. There's a lot of gaps in it, as Corey mentioned. So really, we're just doing our kind of our sanity check on everything, make sure we've got everything in progress. It will be going into full production
Very soon.
Shortly, yeah, very soon.
Very soon, TM.
So
Chris deleted the old.
So that's actually, we see in the monthly report that they're starting to get more stuck into that, and they did talk about how they're trying to build it in a way that they can very easily transfer those parts over to the RSI, the RSI Galaxy or the RSI Perseus, just other RSI capital class ships. Besides that, they talked a little bit about physicalized damage, which I think is an important thing that people should hear about. They actually have a little name for it, but physicalized damage I thought was going to be based on just ships. Here, listening to them talk, though, clearly sounds like it's going to be a little bit bigger than that.
Physicalized damage. This has been one of those, when we talk about things that hold up this system or that system, the idea of bullets and ballistics and everything passing through and damaging the components within a ship has been linked to be the keystone to so many other developments. Anything you can tell us about physicalized damage?
Good news part 2.
Oh.
So it is really under heavy active development at the moment. So physics team have done a lot of work in the last 6 months on it. We're now at a point where other feature and gameplay teams have joined them to sort of work out the quirks with it. The vehicle content team have provided assets of ships set up in this new way of doing things. Should caveat this, it's not a vehicle thing, it's an everything thing. Every destructible system in the game will use this. So whilst everyone sort of uses the vehicle example of bullets going through ships, it replaces the prop breakable system, it replaces the environment breakable system, it replaces the vehicle damage system. There's another one I forget. So environment teams, prop teams, vehicle teams, we're all working on this at the moment with a bunch of use case scenarios that are with the engineers.
So it's more like an overall destructible physics system.
Yes, yeah. People have probably heard the word maelstrom in various monthly reports and pieces.
No.
It's not a ship.
I'll wipe the board when we get back.
No, that was new. We hadn't heard that yet.
That's the name of that overarching system. It's definitely been said.
It had not. No. I don't think it had been said by that point, which I thought was pretty interesting. So this was if you haven't seen that, I would go watch the rest of it. There were some pretty good, I think it was the second half really that had all the good questions, but they were asked a lot about specifics with ships and I think got some pretty good information. After that, there was a Inside Star Citizen. This was about Arena Commander and kind of the work that's going into that. Now, we talked about that today during the podcast. This is one of the bigger additions going on with 3.20 that we know of right now. We just got 5 memberships gifted out over on YouTube. Thank you, Frenchie. Bringing those people into the fold. So this is about the changes going on with Arena Commander. We talked about front end stuff. I think the biggest change that really is coming to this is the fact that you can now load into a game in somebody else's turret seat, in somebody else's equipment seat. Yes, this is only combat focused right now, but imagine if they start bringing in Arena Commander game modes that require mining or salvaging or espionage. These are they could package up gameplay elements for us in this mode. All right. Holy crap, I wish it would just do the alert for the 5, not every single one. They're also adding patch notes, which is nice. This is actually a bigger change than I think. Well, for me, this is a bigger change than it lets on. I think they need to start moving things more from the website into the game. They started it with the guide menu button, which still takes you to the website, but at least it's a start. And they now are putting patch notes into the game. This makes it easier for people to understand how the game works without having to go to all these different resources to find it. But besides that, we also saw some changes to the actual maps they're using. They built a new planet that's supposedly Ellis planet, although I know Ellis is going to look better than this. And they've redone a lot of the different racetracks while adding PU locations into the closed system. They've also done a lot of work on the combat, bringing in bigger ships, bigger challenges, and just in general more gameplay for players in Arena Commander, which I think are going to make a big difference and make things a little bit more fun for players. What we do hope, though, is that they're also working on stability. That's something that they've talked about in the monthly reports so far, but obviously we have to see it to believe it. There was another episode of this, though. There was this episode 2 where they talked a little bit more about the actual FPS side of the Arena Commander changes coming on. This included new maps, new locations. Security Post Korea is now a place you can fight. The Good Doctor is still there. Honestly, not really a map that I enjoy all that much, but you know, whatever. I think I played on it once. Just ran around and looked at it. I haven't played an actual map on it, but I wasn't a big fan of it. They're bringing in new game modes like Gun Game, which is one that I love from Call of Duty, which is apparently also on Counter-Strike. Bringing in closed arenas for tank battles, so everybody will be able to fight each other in tanks and have little like tank royale battles with the Novas, which is something that we do in the PU, but takes forever to start. So it's a lot better now that we can do that in a closed environment. It's very easy to set up. And then they have just all kinds of different interesting types of new gameplay coming to Arena Commander to mix things up. So that was a 2-episode special of Inside Star Citizen. I did a reaction on the second channel if you want to see that. I guess that's whatever channel this gets posted on. And then we had Star Citizen Live about game dev. Now this one I actually didn't get to watch all the way through. But Jared gets to sit down and have a conversation with John Griffiths. He's a lead environment artist, which obviously we have a lot of great environments in Star Citizen. So he's got some good stuff to say. Talks a little bit about his career, the work he does, that kind of stuff. It's not dripping with details, but they do these game dev interviews every once in a while that I think gives good insight into what building a game is. And for people who want to get into the industry, these are a great resource. We also got a roadmap roundup with an update. As we saw in the podcast earlier, we did add wheeled vehicle handling improvements, and those I showed you some examples of how they're going to improve the physics and the handling and how the ground vehicles interact with the ground. Not a big deal, but I think it will be a nice quality of life change. We also got the Mirai Fury and the Tumbril Storm added to the progress trackers, with the Mirai Fury already being in the game. After that was this week, and we got Inside Star Citizen this week looking at some very interesting ships. We got a nice insight into the development of the Santokyai, which is the next alien ship we are going to get in the game. And they had some interesting information on it, some big news. I will go ahead and play that for you here.
Have them on the line? Yes? Great. So, Elwin, Hosmer, why don't you give us an update on where we're currently at with the Santokyai?
Real talk? We just failed our gray box review. That's real talk for you.
So where we're at with the Santokyai right now is we just went through our review gate for gray box, which we failed. And it's not catastrophic. The main reason for that is because we haven't quite figured out how we're going to be doing and designing the cockpit dashboard yet. All of the exterior has been basically gray box modeled out. We have the majority of the animations finished. I'm actually currently repolishing the landing animation and in-flight animation and a couple of other really cool things that we haven't shown before. But yeah, the bulk of the geometry has been modeled out, and we're about to get ready to start doing material work and palms and all that good stuff to make it look beautiful. But unfortunately, we can't quite move on to that stage yet until we really nail down what it is that we're going to be doing with the dashboard.
I mean, that's part.
So this ship is really cool. I like the way it looks. I think it looks way better than the Car to All. But at the same time, I'm willing to admit that I probably have a little bit of alien ship fatigue, just because we've been talking so much about alien ships and going through Alien Week without really feeling the effect of aliens. And that's not a hit on them. I don't think they should be developing the alien species right now. Obviously, we have way more important things to be looking at, but it does suck that we can hear about them being developed for so long and not see them, that it starts to feel that way. Either way, I think this is a really cool ship, super sleek, looks really nice. It has great parity with the Car to All Scout. You can tell they're coming from the same company, even if that company is an alien manufacturer. Like, it's not like they're releasing Xi'an ships and Banu ships. They're releasing ships under the manufacturers from those races, so they kind of look different, but they still look alien. I think this does a great job of still looking like that Car to All, while taking its own design and its own sort of silhouette and stuff. I really like the way that ship looks. Now, on the other side of things, we've got the Hull C, which is way more exciting. The Hull C is much more exciting as a ship than the Car to All, the Santokyai, in my opinion. It brings a lot of possibilities and questions with it, and unfortunately, those didn't really get answered in Inside Star Citizen, but we still did get to hear some interesting stuff about the development process. Whoops.
Hull C, for those that don't know, is like the big 18-wheeler of the Star Citizen universe, designed for transporting bulk cargo around the stations and between solar systems. We started it, I want to say 5+ years ago. We got so far on the arts and design side, probably early grey box. And then the sheer amount of technical challenges with this ship became apparent. We put a pause to it. We thought, we'll come back. The teams that need to help us have more important things to do at that point in time. There was object container streaming going on. So we're like, that's more important. We'll sort that out. We'll come back to it. And the last year or so, we've come back to it and had to deal with all those big technical challenges for the ship.
So interestingly enough, the work that he said was done. We learned about this ship so long ago. 2017, we were seeing video of this ship, so they had it designed. And you can see here, actually, the guy who worked on it tweeted about his work doing it. He said, in the end, the rear interior OC is a loadout item attached to an animated SDF grid, that's a signed distance field grid, which will unlock modular and salvageable interiors. Oh. I spent about 3 years planning, animating, and working with artists, designers, graphics, physics, and engine teams to assemble this beauty. Cheers. Awesome work that he did, because honestly, it is beautiful. I mean, look at the animations and like the technical movements that this thing makes. Obviously, it's already a beautiful ship. Just take a second. Just take a moment. Love it. But like, look at how many little details there are to this ship expanding, all while still moving around in the game, all with people moving around inside of the ship while it expands and transforms. So I think they did make something very impressive here. Part of what makes Star Citizen so great, in my opinion, is that they do go a little bit too crazy with this stuff in a way that sci-fi fans love. Like, we are all a bunch of nerds that really like a good, crunchy sci-fi experience, but obviously making a game means you have to cut corners and make it easier to make. So I love when Star Citizen comes out and builds a telescoping, transforming hallway through a ship that's animating with boxes that are being attached by physics grids. It's insane. It's crazy. But it's why I like this game. So I'm really excited to see what else they have to say about this. I think they didn't say quite enough about how this was going to work with the economy, which we talked about in the podcast again. But it's clearly ready for the game in terms of design, engineering, and art. What we don't know, though, is how it works with the rest of the game. How is it going to go about picking up large boxes? Where are the 32 SCU boxes? How are we going to load this thing on? Are we using the SRV? Are we using the Argo Cargo with tractor beams? As of right now, it does look like you're just going to a predetermined spot, sitting in there, and the cargo is populating. And they're also still using what looks like one SCU boxes. I can't tell. I can't tell if these are connected or not. They look like one SCU boxes, but I don't have a good sense of the scale here. Now, what they do show... Oh, I'm sorry. We missed that. So you can see we do have the cargo timers functioning here. So that's part of the cargo refactor, is the fact that you will have to wait for cargo to be loaded onto your ship. And I actually have a shot of that. I have a shot of what that's supposed to look like from the UI perspective. Let me see if I can pull that up here real quick for you. So this is what it might look like. This is an early work in progress, so it's not what it'll look like in game, but this is the idea. You get cargo timers, you can see how much you're paying people to move that stuff. These people aren't rendered. They're probably just going to be, you know, a number ticking off on a list somewhere. And you get a lot more introduction to kind of what's actually going on here. Obviously, space weed. So that's kind of a little teaser of some of the cargo refactor work going on here. But besides that, they don't talk too much about it. So while the Hull C might seem ready to go, even have its vehicle tractor beams there, we still don't know how it's going to affect everything else. And there is one point where they show different sized SCU boxes here. But I don't think... No, I think I passed it. Interior looks great. Exterior looks great. It all is coming together. It's a 3-deck behemoth with a lot of space going on and a lot of things to do inside. So I'm excited to see what this ship offers, but I'm going to be pretty disappointed if it doesn't come with a at least decent update to the economy to handle all the SCU it's dragging around. Finally, we got an alien narrative. Got to hear from the narrative team, which is great. The narrative team usually has some pretty good stuff to share. I haven't seen this one yet since it just happened yesterday, but they probably go over a lot of what has to do with aliens and how they will fit into the game. And I think if you're interested in the lore and understanding the background of Star Citizen, this would be a good one to watch. It's not going to be as heavy and crunchy in terms of development, but it is going to tell you some interesting stuff. Finally, we got the Tumbril Storm Q&A. This is that tank we looked at a little bit earlier. And generally, they answer questions here that aren't going to like make or break the ship itself or the vehicle itself, but there's stuff that people might be interested in, such as what will it fit inside of? And this says it shares the same garage size as a Tumbril Nova and Anvil class vehicle. So I think that's on purpose. They just made it fit the same tread as the larger tank. Apparently that's what's done with Humvees and tanks for like driving around. But this one is still pretty wide, but it's also fairly fast. I think it actually said something here. How fast is it compared to other ground vehicles? All stats are subject to change, so we won't list specifics now, but expect the Storm to be faster than the Nova and Atlas series and closer to the Ursa in speed. So this thing's moving. So this is something you can look at if you wanted to get a little bit more information on the Storm. I won't go over it here, but they did release more information on that tank. And then finally, actually not finally, there's also a Squadron 42 monthly report. Now, I'm releasing my Star Citizen monthly report probably tomorrow night. I guess that would be before this video comes out. So I guess go check out that video on the main channel. But Squadron 42 monthly report's a little bit different, gives you a little bit more insight into that single player version, and has some different stuff to say. They have gameplay story section and level design sections, and they talk a little bit more about the polishing that's going on with Squadron 42. Finally, we got some CitizenCon info. Finally, they are talking about tickets to CitizenCon. After 4 long years, we are back. We're going to be in the Los Angeles Convention Center, and it's a 2-day event. So for those who already got their hotels, myself included, we will have to change the day a little bit. But ticket sales are going on at the end of June with early waves on the 28th and 29th and regular waves on the 29th and 30th. If you want to go, make sure to get in on that because they do sell out. But there should be a lot of good information at this show. I'm sure they're going to make a very big deal out of it because it's the first in 4 years and probably the first before they start their marketing campaign for Squadron 42. So I think they'll probably try and do something special. Anyways, folks, that is my little speedy summary of the last couple of weeks of content. I'm going to keep working at this and keep, refining this format. I think this could be fun to go over the news with you guys. I like highlighting the stuff that interests me. And so I will be doing this again in a couple of weeks. Please give me some feedback on what you thought once it's actually finally edited down. And for you guys on the stream, even, give me some feedback on how you felt about this. How's the pacing? How's the time? Either way, thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next one. And for the rest of us, my friends, my good people, we are going to jump into some Star Citizen rock mining. Let me go ahead and update that stream title for that. All right, so I'm going to jump into Alpha 3.19.1 now with my org, and we're going to actually do some rock mining together. But let's see, what kind of questions did you guys have on that stuff? Because I just kind of blasted through all of that. What were you guys asking? Somebody asked tanks? What would we need tanks for? For the other vehicles, so like blow up other vehicles, assault ground facilities, assault bases, underground facilities, stuff like that. They also need to revamp their stuff where stuff is able to be bought and sold. There's very few cargo items that can be sold and bought at stations. Yeah, the stations need to be buffed for trade for sure. Captain Radix, keep up the good work, Tomato. Thank you so much for the super chat and your 8 months of support. Hope you've been enjoying all the stuff that goes on for us. Good times. Guess the community round is already over. Yeah, we went for about an hour on the community podcast. I think it's the biggest pirate bait, so escorts are most definitely required. For the Hull C, it's going to be very, 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 very lucrative for pirates. Because all you have to do with that ship is... all you're going to have to do is fly by and shoot these boxes, shoot these little spindles to disconnect the boxes, scoop them up, and take them home. All the other game studios would never spend that much time on a feature like this. They couldn't afford to. Yeah. When is the update? Which update, Lane? 3.20? That's probably going to be in September or October. Cancer, you're not excited for 320. Why not? There's not enough shown or shown to be slated for 320 yet to have you excited. I see. Okay. Because of the release view. Will we be able to use the ship tractor beams to transport ground vehicles on different ships? Depends on the size of the ground vehicle and the ship tractor beam. I think with the SRV, yes, we will be able to pick up vehicles. Because that's going to be a very large tractor beam, and it can move spaceships already on its own. For regular other size tractor beams, I'm not sure. I think the SRV is going to have a size 3 beam. Other tractor beams for vehicles will be size 2. Handheld tractor beams will be size 1. And then the multi-tool attachment will be a size 0. But you can see that a size 3 can transport something like a Cutlass. 2 of them together can transport something like a Constellation. So I do think with the SRV, at least we will be moving vehicles around. Yeah. Which should make things a lot easier for loading and unloading. Why don't they make the 1 and 2 SU boxes you can create or get from people's ships attached to cargo grids? Probably just a different system still. Underlying different system that they haven't moved them over to yet. Haven't followed development for a while. Any news regarding a server meshing or pyro? No. None in a few months now. SRV could rescue stuck ground vehicles in rocks. Yeah. Hull C for 320, so you're excited for what that could bring. I do hope that it brings an update with the economy, but we don't know just yet. Or at least a big cargo refactor update would be nice. Already got your CCU chain for the SRV. You want it so bad. SRV is going to be a really cool ship, or a really useful ship. All right, let's jump out of here and jump into the game, shall we? You guys can keep asking questions, though. Let's keep talking 3.20. What are you guys hoping they add that's not on the release view yet? For me, my pie in the sky wish for 3.20 would be engineering, I think. I'm really hoping that engineering becomes server meshing. Yeah! Totally. There's a pie in the sky. There was a picture of the ship that attaches to ships possibly being able to transport ground vehicles with a tractor beam. A ship that attaches to ships. SRV? Cargo and economy refactor, like I said. It'd be really good to hear something about Quantum this summer. Looks like a pelican. Oh, are you talking about the... What is that? That's not the Liberator. That's, I know what ship you're talking about. Hacking ship. Probably got a picture of it here somewhere. This one? Why aren't you opening? Let's try that again. No, okay. This picture is just not... There we go. Talking about this one. I don't think this one has a tractor beam on it. I think this is a hacking and boarding ship. Think CIG forgot about Quantum? No, the Quantum has been on the monthly reports for the last 3 months now. So there's active work going into it. Like to be able to store 1 SU boxes in the station. This is the... Gosh, what is the name of this one? This might be one of the only ships that I don't know the name of off the top of my head. It's not the Liberator. Nah, I can't remember it. Legionnaire. That's it. Thank you. I knew it was an L word. All right, let's see if Punji's in the game. Cool. I'm going to join on his server. It had a detailed picture of how the tractor beam would work. It did. Oh, okay. I did not realize that one had a tractor beam on it. That's a weird ship to have a tractor beam. Blue Falcon, you're hoping for the cargo refactor to continue with 320. Is ship-to-ship docking still planned now that there is a dedicated boarding ship that they are selling? It is still planned, yes. All of the airlocks on each ship is still planned to be able to dock with other ships. The whole point of the Legionnaire is that it can get around the systems that would normally lock a ship out from docking. So you can force the dock and then force the door open with that ship, as opposed to other ships, you'd maybe be able to force the dock, but you just have to sit there on the other side of the door. Quantum is at the core of what is going to govern the economy. It's incredibly complex, though, so I think it's going to be a while. Well, it has been a while. You know, like, it has been a while. I'm sympathetic to people who want to see something from the economy. I mean, I made a video about it last summer, hoping that we would see another update to it last year, which I think they had alluded to, but it seemingly got delayed. With the whole gardening theme, do you garden any in real life? A little bit. A little bit. I don't really have the time to garden right now because space tomato. But yeah, my wife loves the flowers, loves gardening. We both like to grow vegetables, fruits, and generally try to if we have the time and the space. I used to grow a lot of peppers. Loved growing peppers, specifically shenanigans. So I'll probably get back into that. But yeah, we want to have, you know, our own ingredients. Tomatoes, broccoli, not broccoli, ew. Tomatoes, celery, oranges, lemons, you know, the good stuff. We luckily live in a climate where quite a few things grow. You think it's going to be a while longer? Shh. Don't tell me that. It was announced like 4 years ago. I mean, they were talking about it 8 years ago, probably, whenever Tony Z was brought on. No! Oh, Jesus! Oh, man. No! They're gonna kill me. They're gonna kill me. But I don't have anything here, so I guess I can just kill myself. Yo, Dappa, thank you so much for the super chat, man. With the hippo and the racing chair. Good to see you, dude. I hope you're having a good week. Oh, noes. Yay. Oh, what the heck? It took me all the way back to Area 18? Oh, man. I hadn't even changed my spawn. Well, I think that actually is good. I think Area 18 is closer to where we're starting this event. Doors won't stop me. I mean, don't close the doors on my face if you don't want me to slide through them into the abyss. I guess that actually ended up worse for me than the game. Oh, Hurston's where the event is. Dang it. I just happened to be in the right place and still messed up. Guess I'll be flying to Hurston 01. They should put a one-way door down a bit. Yeah, somebody else was in chat last stream saying that they lost it because that happened and they stopped playing for a bit. Rip, dude. F's in chat, please, guys. F's in chat or my heart's gonna stop beating because I'm so disappointed in myself. Hurston is so easy to run events at. It is nice to have the ground there, unlike our corp. Whew. Okay, I'm coming back. We're good. We're good. It would be cool to at least know, what the blockers are for Quanta. I think it's just code. I don't know. It's like they clearly have the design. They presented the design to us like 3 years ago. So at this point, it must just be the engineering work that's taken that long. But I don't know. It's another thing that had to be invented and built from the ground up. Right. And, you know, there's something that I've never really thought about is how is an economy built into a game engine? Like, what does the default economy look like? Let's say they adopted Unity and they wanted to have a dynamic economy in the game with Unity. Is there something that Unity has prepackaged in the game engine that allows that? Or does the studio then have to go and build an entire economic simulation on top of it? Because maybe that's just something that CIG could not get around without making it their own. Sounds like Quantum depends heavily on server messing and vice versa. I think they interact with each other quite a bit, but they've started to add Quantum to the game in little bits and pieces with probability volumes, with the combat beacon missions, with refueling, restock, and rearm pricing. Those things are all connected to Quantum, so they kind of are putting it in. Virtual AI, I think, is the next step with bounty hunting. But the legitimate simulation of the Quanta data points is something that I guess we still don't really know about. Models are quite easy to make. It's just statistics. But you have to plug in the inputs and outputs to the microservices. And you also have to, have them functioning with all of these things that are already working in the game. They probably have to rewrite how all the things in the game are working too. You have to build the economy from scratch usually? Unreal Engine 5 doesn't have one, for instance? Okay. Should just be updates to spreadsheets and lists. But it's a little bit more, it seems, than just the economy itself, because they build in all of these things like AI have personalities, they have affinities, they have likes and dislikes, and those likes and dislikes drive how the AI are interacting around the verse and what they're buying. So I guess you could have all of that stuff stored in like some CSV files. Just a lot of CSV data to put down. Woo! Love having extra armor ready to go. Uh-oh. Am I missing chess pieces? Ah, there we are.
From transforming worlds to exploring the stars, ArcCorp is proud to bring the universe closer together. ArcCorp, investing in tomorrow's future.
All right, lady. I'm not looking to buy. You don't have to sell me. Do I have any guns? Oh, look at that. He said, yeah, I do. Grab a pistol. Grab a ship. Let's get over there.
It takes all of us working
Welcome
to
the ASOP vehicle retrieval system.
Be vigilant and report possible threats every time.
Take the MSR over. You believe quantum is something that needs the distributed workload that server meshing is supposed to help with, like the full simulation? Okay. I think with full quantum, this is where we need to exercise immense patience, unfortunately. I don't need full quantum. I just need to be able to, like, reliably understand how things are moving. They talk about economic nodes, right? Maybe start by showing us what is an economic node in the game. Add the outposts and say, here are the economic nodes that the quantum system is going to tie into. Maybe talk a little bit about the types of outposts that they want to have in the game. Let me pull something up for you guys real quick. Because, like, we've seen these things. We've seen these things that they talk about tying into the quantum simulation, but they get no context. None at all. Here's an example of one. You see in the background of this shot, there's a refinery outpost. This is probably an economic node. This is probably something that would tie into the simulation, that would have inputs and outputs, resources and demands. Here's another one that they've shown us. An industrial base. Looks like another refining or mining base, maybe. Again, I think something that maybe ties into it, but we haven't gotten any real context of how. Here's another one that they've shown. This was earlier in the process, as you can tell from the white box, or gray box, but again, this is an outpost. This is like some kind of industrial base on the ground that they've shown but haven't talked about. And we just keep getting stuff like that. I would love if they could just make one little mention. Yeah, you know those things you guys see? That's how we're going to fill this out. We're going to have so-and-so amount of those on a moon like Daymar. They might not know that information, though.
Your vehicle has been delivered to the following location.
Did you guys hear there is a transit system in the cities of Starfield? Not surprising. That is pretty cool. This game is almost true AI at this point with how they want NPCs to behave. It is very a lot. Sometimes I hear them talk about how they want the AI simulation to work, and I'm like, that sounds insane. Spreadsheets are slow for storing data. Basically, they want to create real economy, but not always being graphed and computed. So they use probabilities to alleviate the calculations, right? ASOP is working from what I hear, yeah. Sounds like a future ISC. We'll see Tony I hope so. We haven't heard from him in 2 years now, I believe. And he was apparently working on something towards the end of last year that Chris was hoping would get in game, but we were never really confirmed what that was. Laying in bed looking at the stream. Ah, it's a nice Saturday morning, chilling watching some games. Pancakes included. Pancakes always included. Okay, we are a wee bit late. Love dying from the train. That's always good stuff. Alright, I'm gonna jump into this room unmuted so that I'm not bugging them as we start the event. But let's get out of here. Biscuits and gravy for you? Oh, boy. That is delicious. Astropub! What's up, dude? Just here to get enough salt from the chat to keep your food preserved for a lifetime? Well, we got salt and juice here. You just tell me what you want. I actually just finished preaching to everybody about my copium-filled hopes for the rest of the year, so they're probably still trying to find some sodium to mix in. A little bit more seasoning. I don't know, what do you think, Astropub? What do you think of 3.20? When do you think we'll see it? Specific month, in your opinion? All right, let me, please just let me. I get a little twitch whenever I use the star map in this game. It's like a little kink in my neck that just makes me want to punch myself in the face trying to use this thing. All right, let's try this again. Come on, star map. Okay, what am I missing? I feel like there's always something like you didn't strap your helmet to the back of your left heel, so you can't select a destination. All right, let's see if I can find it manually then. Oh, look at that. That makes it easy. Blocked by the planet. Still wondering what's happening with Squadron 42 since the sales page has been unavailable for almost a month. Canceled. Sounds like it's done. It's gone. Oh boy, that'd be terrible. But I'm guessing that's what some people are thinking. People who are like thinking that Squadron 42 is fake or it's a scam. We're probably like, this is finally it. The rug has been pulled. Your guess for 3.20 would be whenever the next ship sale event happens? No. The next ship sale is going to be in July. 3.20 is definitely not coming in July. Still wondering what's happening with Squadron 42. Actually, it might be August. Either July or August. You're still wondering what's happening with Squadron... Oh, I already read that. Wrecked the hull C in 3.20. And take AI as being close to being finished. ISC lately doesn't seem to be addressing the real issues at hand like the economy and meshing. Yeah, they're not going to talk about those in ISC. Or if they do, they're going to be very in-depth ISCs. Usually when they talk about those kinds of big topics, they bring out entirely different videos that are separate from their weekly shows. I would love to hear something more about the economy, but I don't think we'll hear about server meshing on ISC. I think we'd probably hear about it in like an SCL or a Spectrum post or something like that. Keep seeing images of Santokyai and... Oh, this is what you were responding to. The Hull C is basically done, it seems. They're polishing it up, but engineering-wise, art-wise, design-wise, it seems to be good. And the Santokyai saw a delay. It is in the gray box phase, and they're trying to push it into the next art phase, but they still have to figure out the dashboard. So it's still a ways away. Months. You're bidding October or November for 320? Keeping expectations low, pub. You think an end of October? That's what I'm kind of thinking. I'm hoping that the patch gets big. Quarter 3 update, or the third update of the year, whatever you want to call it, is usually where they try to go out, you know? So I hope they do it this year, and they don't do it in the December patch, so we have a terrible holiday break. Casual Soup, you've been playing SC for a little over a month now and have found the content not only insightful, but also entertaining. That's what we go for. Appreciate you watching it. Thank you. They're about to raise the price on Squadron. What is a 90 days, Alex? Depends on how big they're going for CitizenCon. That always takes time away from game dev. Yeah, I imagine whatever they're trying to do this year, they're trying to minimize the game dev distraction. This will be your first CitizenCon. How much will the tickets probably be? I've never been to CitizenCon, so I don't know. I have no idea. Pretty obvious that CIG is waiting to return Squadron to the store after some kind of announcement. Oh, it's the 90 days tops. Okay. The 90 days has finally arrived. 90 days tops. When was that? 2015? 2016? Was 90 days tops? It's always some version of it. That's the funny thing about Star Citizen. There are funny jokes to be made about both supporters and the I don't know, skeptics, naysayers, whatever you want to call them, of Star Citizen. For supporters, it's always 2 years. It's always getting better. Things are always good. For the naysayers, 90 days tops. This game is going to kill Star Citizen. You'll all find out this is a scam. Like we're so cliche. It's like we all come from a book. But yeah, the 90 days tops thing is pretty funny. I don't believe you though, Astropub. I don't think they're making an announcement. I think it's canceled. I think it's gone. What's up? It's hot in here? Yeah, I got these 2 personal heaters right here down in my legs area. It's pretty bad. Mrs. Tomato coming to save me from my own computer heat. Oh. When did it get so cloudy? That's weird. It was very sunny earlier. It's the first 2 days CitizenCon. Didn't they do one like that before? Wasn't 2017 or 2018 2 days? You definitely want to go to CitizenCon, but you don't want to get your hopes up if the tickets are expensive. The last one was $80. That's not bad. Good. I was expecting it to be much more expensive. 80 days per day though would be, yeah, over 150. Definitely want to go to CitCon. Oh, read that already. Imagine Squadron 42 being canceled. You'll die laughing. You'll die laughing at yourself. I'm gonna die cry. You're not going to LA? He is not going back to California. Cali? What is the song again? Going back to Cali? Dirk over here is certainly not. Oh crap! I'm not even on the voice comms.
You can just pick it all the stuff up with.
Hey, I just realized I was still in this group and I wasn't talking. Hi.
Hi. I know we
Hi.
were stuff.
He's arrived.
I'm sorry. What did I miss? I'm guessing things already started.
Yeah, we actually
Admit, you
found
didn't miss much though.
Frenchie found a 17 rock patch.
Jeez. Do you need me to get anything? Should I grab another rock or a
Yeah,
ship?
come to Thaddeus. Yeah, come to Thaddeus, load up a rock in your... Well, maybe you leave the MSR at Thaddeus. We'll come pick you up in the A2.
Okay.
The planets are yellow, so I can't see the charge level very well. Love that.
Oh, if I could just select the location.
I think I'm full.
Think you're full?
I don't know, maybe not.
Don't send me through the planet, please. Sweet.
It's gone well so far.
Thank you. They've all been 1 day until now? Ah. Wow, I thought there was another 2-day one. That's crazy. So definitely something important going on.
Just picking all the stuff up.
You're already crying a bit because of the non-wipe that came? Why is that making you cry? Isn't that a good thing? Could be, it would be coming home for Tomato. Yes, I'm excited to be going back to LA. It's where I went to school, where I spent a lot of my time. I have family there. Very familiar. Yo, Skippy! We thank you for the super chat, dude. We've got a noob in the GII party. He's playing for a week now. Bought a 2K gaming PC just to... Holy crap! First time rock mining. That is fun. This should be good. Alright, where's Thaddeus? There it is. Thetis. Thetis! Seeing it would be a heck of a road trip or a pricey flight. You're going to sit this year's out. I get it. Will definitely affect it. Meant that quantum techs they are working is what they intend to have in the game, right? Oh, people lost a lot of ships, I see. Grinded the hell out of the game to buy the Corsair and waited for the patch to come so that you can ground mine and yeah. Oh, did you already get the Corsair? Wasn't there like some kind of thing that you had to do? Call it and then store it in order to keep it? Now you're back at the drawing board? Well, if you would like, you can always join the org and play with us. We usually try and do some events that get people a lot of money pretty quickly, and we'll try to help you get back to your Corsair quickly, unless you already have an org you can play with.
Okay, that was neat. That went well.
Yeah, alright. Everyone back into the A2. We'll head back to Thaddeus, pick up Tomato.
Yeah, don't forget to put your mining lasers away.
Very important.
Setting down at Thetis.
Oh no! It's very much half mining expedition and half bumper cars out here.
I'm just going forward, I don't care.
How's the mining going so far?
It's going pretty good.
Corpseman, how's it going?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Tips real
quick. Good.
Goblin, back in.
I'm in.
Back up in.
This works. Don't you shoot me.
That was gunfire.
Hey.
That was a warning shot. Where's my damn gun?
Already have one with friends? No problem. We're not exclusive, so if you're ever looking for a large group to get involved with as well as the friend group, we don't tell people that they can't be in two or something. Always nice to have a backup. Hopefully that won't occur again, but if it does, oh well. Oh, the unstowed ship problem. Well, maybe they've got it figured out. That would be really nice if they've finally got it to a point where they, you know, it seems like they've made good progress on PES. I hope it's permanent, and hopefully it just continues at the rate that it is, because they're recovering I know it doesn't feel quick. It's been like 2 months since they implemented PES, but the game is almost back to stability levels of this time last year, which is good. I thought it was going to suck for quite a while. But again, we got to play 3.19.1 for a little while and get a real sense of that. How have you guys been? How's 3.19 been treating everybody else? 3.19.1, I mean.
Hey, you missed. Or somehow got nailed in the face with one of the rocks inside his place.
You just got a 400i in 3.19 and a day later lost it. At least the game is relatively stable. Only had one server with ASOP issues and 130k in 2 days. That's not bad. We have had... Oh, we're 5 members away from hosting a giveaway over on YouTube. Just a heads up, like I said, I'll be pulling one of these random pieces of paper out of this hat, and somebody in chat will be winning it on whatever platform we reach our goal. It's going to be something from the game. A ship skin, a weapon, a special piece of armor, or something like that. But besides that, we are actually doing a 400i giveaway. That's what reminded me of that. Still giving away a 400i. It's on the YouTube page on spacetomatogaming.com/giveaways. The link is down below on YouTube, or you can type in !400i on Twitch, and that will pull it up as well. Where the heck is the rock? Or the vehicle spawning area? How do you enter that YouTube giveaway? If you look for the link down below, spacetomatogaming.com/giveaways, that will show you the link. Oh, crap. Frenchie just pushed us past the goal. Wait, how does it say 10? Hold up a second. Wait, is this another glitch? One, 6, 7, 12. Yeah, okay. So YouTube for some reason like doubles these up. But we're at 12 because you just gifted 5 and it bumped us up 10. But you know what? Because you're great, screw it. I'm gonna give you 3 free ones. I'll say we're at 15, but for some reason it's like doubling up the numbers. So on YouTube, we are going to throw a giveaway now. Mrs. Tomato should be pulling up Nightbot, and we will start measuring the chat activity in YouTube for a couple of minutes. And if people are active in the YouTube chat, you will be entered into the giveaway. I will be pulling something out of this hat, and we will be pulling somebody out of that list of people who can win. Whenever that does happen, obviously we can talk to you afterward if it's a paint for a ship or some kind of thing that you maybe can't apply. We can go ahead and switch it out for something else. But for now, if you are active on YouTube, you will be entered into that giveaway. I just got to see if Mrs. Tomato has confirmed that the giveaway is running just yet. She should be in chat.
All right, on my way to Thetis.
Oh, yeah, she's right there. First Fez giveaway. Yeah. Sorry, I missed that. So get active in YouTube chat if you're on there. We will be pulling that winner soon. And I'm still... Hold on a second. Hey, where's the vehicle spawn area? Oh, it's all the way over there. Okay, never mind. I'm dumb.
Popsman, did you send a friend request to Punji?
I don't see
he on our
the
server?
Oh, no, there you are.
Hey, thank you guys for getting us to the giveaway. Always happy to host them.
My ship. In-game on the same server, right-click on the name and send friend.
Got your entries done. No problem.
The menu from the website as well.
Best of luck to you in the giveaway. Thanks for getting into it. Yo, Casual Soup and Pedro, thank you both for becoming members over on YouTube. Guys, we appreciate the support, but I just want to let you know you're also going to get access to our exclusive videos. So if you go to the main page of the YouTube channel, you'll see 5 or 6 videos that have not been released yet about different topics surrounding Star Citizen that you can go ahead and watch ad-free. Enjoy. Figured we'd be scrapping. We're busting up some rocks. Wait, scraping. Where is my rock though? Do I not have one? Huh. I guess I only had one. I guess I only had one back when I guess I bought one in the game and it got removed with 319.1. Oh boy. Hey.
I am 20 clicks away.
So
what's up, Tomato?
I don't have a rock. I just realized it got removed with the...
We got a spare one in here.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it got it removed with the update, I think.
Oh.
I will just come board you guys.
What's going on inside? It sounds like everything was...
Someone's playing
Oh,
bumper
okay.
cars with our rocks.
No? No? What?
Reserve, if it's you.
Yeah, I had one back in 319. I think it got removed. Turned to ash. We can get another one. Isn't that a fez? Yes, it is. Ooh. Little question. Why are we
Big
using
answer.
the bomber for mining?
Why not?
Why are you asking so many questions?
You can bomb the rocks and get the minerals that way.
It's a good way to mine.
Easy extraction.
Yeah.
I'll be an escort.
Instructions unclear. Blew myself up.
How can you play this game? It's not on Steam. You gotta get a different launcher to play this game. It is hosted by the company that makes the game itself. But I will ask, how much do you know about this game, John? Because people should be wary jumping into this one. Is there going to be a fix for that? You lost 40 to 50 million worth of ships. For the update, when they removed ships? No, the fix that they were saying was that you had to retrieve and then store the ships that you have if you wanted them to roll over to the next patch. Lost both of your rocks, even after following instructions how to properly store them prior to the update. Oh no. Okay, that's not good. Nothing at all, John. That's fun. That's fun. My friend, this is a journey of a game. It's still really, really heavily in development. So it's a lot jankier than your average game. But it also has the potential to be a lot more impressive. It's an amazing game that's still being made, so sometimes it doesn't feel very amazing. Is the best way to put it, I think. Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Fields. You keep looking at Starfield and Star Citizen comparisons and just want a space sim. Well, Starfield's not going to be a space sim. I do think Starfield is going to be the much more popular game, but Star Citizen is more of a space sim, while Starfield is more of an RPG. If you're looking for something that's going to be focused really heavily on like trying to replicate the feeling of being in space, living in space and working in space, then Star Citizen is going to get you more of that experience, but it's going to take longer to get there. This game is taking a while to be made, and it's nowhere near being polished enough to be considered a mainstream or marketable full release game. But it offers some really, really cool opportunities and just things to do. If you like pain and frustration. So you could do little mining extravaganzas with your peeps like this. You could go and do some low flying. You can do combat. You can do salvage. There's a lot of options for what you want to do in this game. Got 3 free pairs of GII armor? Dang. That is a, ooh, that's good news, dude. GI armor is some of the best stuff you can get in this game, from what I've heard. Wow, this is a bright red. You want to be in a game for years, so this is your wheelhouse. You don't mind long games and early games. Well, you might end up loving Star Citizen, John. There are chances to play this for free. They do host free fly weeks throughout the year. But if you don't want to wait for that, you can actually go to jointomato.com. That will send you to our referral randomizer. It'll get you 5,000 extra credits in the game, and you can make a free account. You don't actually have to spend any money just yet. You can just make a free account and get set up with your name and everything if you want to consider coming back to it a little bit later. But using that link not only helps somebody else out who is helping to support this channel, but it'll also give you a little bit of extra money in the game. And from there, like, if you want to join our Discord, we are all very happy to answer any questions you have, walk you through getting started in the game, getting it downloaded, getting into it, and we'll even bring you out to one of these events to try this if you'd like to. Otherwise, feel free to just keep asking questions in chat. Me and chat will do our best to answer all your questions. Did they fix the mining? What fix are you looking for? What was wrong with it?
Don't suck up my ship.
Trying to suck it. Between the paws.
MSR extraction.
The other one is 800 meters away. Where is it?
Alright, I'm gonna change up this music to something a little more...
Oh, it's a rock going on. Whee!
I think I'm stealing Tomatoes MSR.
Starfield is also single player.
I'm gonna use it as a scout ship.
Star Citizen is worth it though. You're not surprised when you are cut by something that's on the bleeding edge. If there is ever, oh God, Star Citizen is an anomaly, and it. Obviously, I could be saying that because I don't know about other games in this situation, or because I'm just a huge Star Citizen fanboy. But I do feel like this is a one-of-a-kind game. It's hard to compare to other early access games, even because of the way it's being built and how long it's taken. But if you are interested in space, you're interested in games that push the envelope, and you are okay with waiting, I think this is probably the best option on the market. And again, you don't have to pay money to play it. You just wait for a free fly week.
Do we have a rock left to introduce Corpseman to blowing himself?
You're a longtime supporter of No Man's Sky. How does it compare? No Man's Sky does not go far enough in the sim area for you. This is, yeah, so... I mean, to put into perspective, like, you're not, I guess multiplayer is a thing in No Man's Sky now. But, like, you basically can go on any spaceship. So, like, we have this large spaceship here. This is the Crusader Starlifter. This is actually a bombing ship, but we are using it as a cargo and transportation ship right now. You can store all of your vehicles inside. So as you can see, we have 6 different mining vehicles here that are all packaged up with all of our drivers on board. In the back here, we have a medical Pisces. This is an ambulance spaceship. So you can bring people on here. You can heal them. If you look at every player, in fact, let me show you. In the bottom left here, you can see that I have health and a little readout of my body. So you can get injured, and a player can bring you back to this bed to get healed. So that's like another career you can have. But if you look out over here, I think he already took off. There was another spaceship by the same manufacturer, and you can tell it's by the same manufacturer because they spend a lot of time focusing on the design and the continuity of each ship. So the sim elements start to come through when you look at more of the details. For instance, coming back to the back area of this ship, you can see that the components are back here. While engineering is not in the game yet, something that's being worked on, you will be able to be a engineer or repair person on the ship who keeps these components running and keeps the ship up in tip-top shape. Something like, I can't remember the name of that game. Project Zomboid, I think. Where you're basically manually controlling the power, the fuel, the the coolant, all that kind of stuff to keep the ship running. In addition to that, we've got different sim elements around the inventory where you can store things in ships, in backpacks, in your armor. Those things can then be used as moving inventories that you can transfer between other ships and locations. So like you can start to get an idea. Oh, barotrauma, thank you. You can start to get the idea of how the sim elements come together. But because it's still a game in progress, there's a lot of placeholders and hand-holding. Need to be careful with your wallet though. Yeah, I say spend 45 bucks, get into the game, try it out. You're a real-life engineer, so that engineering role is a huge caller for you. Same here. Mechanical and HVAC engineering. I think, did I do a video on the engineering recently? I can't remember. If you go throughout my YouTube channel, just look through the past videos. I have plenty of videos on there that talk about the sim-like aspects of this game from different perspectives. I think if you watch a few videos, in fact, there was one I made last year. It's like a what is Star Citizen kind of video. If you watch those and you come away feeling positive about it, jump on our Discord. Give me a ping. Let me know. I'll get you set up. Joseph, I'll catch you later. Have a good day. Tarkov is also an alpha game that can torment you, let alone the plague of hackers. Yeah, I've heard that's a problem. Mr. Fields, that is a good point. This is definitely going to be that kind of game where you, in a few years from now, you're going to be like, I remember back in 319. Like, you guys remember when we couldn't even send money to each other? As for all the gameplay loops that will be in the game are bounty hunting, mercenary missions, mining, salvage, repair, refuel, engineering, cargo hauling, and more, yeah. Farming is going to be a thing, interestingly enough. Exploration. Data hauling is going to be a thing. I think that's one of the interesting parts of this game that you don't really see in other games. Actually recording and transporting data for use by other players. They're also simulating an economy at a 9-to-1 scale. 9 AI to every 1 player. So we'll have an impact on the economy, but we won't control it. But it will be simulated based on economic nodes, supply and demand, danger areas, safe areas, how much security is here, how much industry flows through this system, all that kind of stuff. There's a lot going into the production of this game. And that's part of why it's taken so long. Just part of, though.
I understand this game with sunglasses is standard. It's like born with them or something, little ones.
Oh my god.
Are we here to mine, or are we waiting?
Yeah,
We're in the mine.
All
Chopped
right.
3 of them off at one pile, and we're over at the other one.
Cool.
Should not be doing this at 3 AM, but you know. Fuck it, I guess.
Oh, what happened with Nightbot?
Systems activating. Systems on.
Oh, Nightbot just banned someone? Very sorry. We should be running that giveaway here soon.
Right, Corpseman, follow me.
Yes, sir.
How much is a day rental?
4,000.
Nice, nice.
In fact, I'm gonna go ahead and pull our I'm gonna pull our prize, and then Mrs. Tomato will let you guys know when we're actually gonna pull the
These ones look
winner.
different. They might be hand mineable.
Here we go. Here we go. Here. Oh,
You still break them with the rock.
drop something there. All right, let's see what somebody's getting.
Better
Our
hand medals on the
first
surface?
supporter-driven giveaway here, going through YouTube. Thank you so much, guys, for making it happen. What are you winning today? Exclusive Savior Collection Iceborne helmet. All right, somebody just won themselves a new permanent helmet in the game. Let me see what it looks like. The Iceborne helmet Savior Collection. Ah, it's one of the Paladin helmets. Somebody just got themselves a quote-unquote Mandalorian helmet. Big money. That's right. One of these boys. Congratulations. Like I said, these are small gifts, but they're going to come out for free. We've got a bunch of them left. Plenty more. Armor, shipskins, all kind of stuff. So thank you to you guys for getting that one listed. And whenever Nightbot is ready, Mrs. Tomato is going to go ahead and pull the winner. Keep an eye on the chat over there for that YouTube. Thanks again for getting that started, guys. Let me go and get some mining done. Captain Radix, you think you'll like Starfield as a big fan of sci-fi RPGs, but SC, you think you'll eventually fulfill your character role? Starfield's definitely going to be a big game for me. I keep saying it. If I wasn't a Star Citizen scan, Starfield would be probably the most anticipated game of my life. I've been waiting for a new space RPG for a long time, but I think Star Citizen will end up being the super in-depth space game that I've been waiting for, or that I want to play now. So here I'm just loading this rock with heat. Enough heat till it cracks open and gives me whatever the juicy goods inside are. Aphrite, it looks like. And this is one form of mining in the game. This is ground vehicle mining, but you can also do handheld mining and also ship mining. You're gonna stop, Nightbot? Is it not working? Oh, Casual Soup. My friend Casual Soup has won the giveaway over on YouTube for that helmet. Yo, that's awesome because you also helped us get to that giveaway. Thank you so much for your membership. Thanks for the support and congratulations. Go ahead and reach out to either me or reach out to Mrs. Tomato on Discord or let her know what your Discord here is on chat. Is here on chat. And we'll get your information and send that over to you. Congratulations. Hope you like the new helmet. Make sure to make a YouTube video about being the Mandalorian whenever you use it. Give me them gems. Give me them gems.
3K each for one day.
I love mining. Yum, 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 yum.
Alright, he's done. Someone flip me over.
You'll auto-correct in a second.
Am I flinging these jewels back behind me? Nom, 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 nom.
Probably.
Reserve Goblin. The part of back into the A2 did you not understand?
Well, I flipped over it. I'm trying. It's not. There we go.
All right, I got my goods.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay, mine are scattered all over the place. What the hell?
Alright, so Reserve Goblin's not driving anymore.
Oh, what? I went too fast. Slightly.
We may have to get a different transport ship because.
No, you can just use. Don't worry, you can just.
No. The rock that's currently embedded in the floor may be actively damaging the ship as we speak.
Is it?
Mercury is on its way back.
The target is friendly.
Reserve, out of the vehicle.
Okay.
Out of the vehicle, reshoot.
I may shoot him regardless.
I've been shot already, man. Come on.
That was
I
a
wonder
warning
if we.
Oh, there you go. I found another patch.
I wonder if we could do a tomato stream just with a soundboard.
Probably could.
You're trying to replace him. That's harsh.
I'm sure that won't get repetitive. Oh, this landing ramp's really high. Can we even? Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, you can.
Cool.
It's possible.
It's climbing wheels.
I'm trying to get up it.
Ooh.
All right, next patch is on Frenchie.
Yeah.
It's a big one again.
We still got to figure out this whole ship stuck in the floor thing.
Yeah, it looks like we might have to get a different vehicle.
Go ahead and hey, who's our pilot? I'm our pilot. Okay, I'm gonna take us back to Thaddeus, and We'll have all the rocks vacate, sell what we have, and then figure out the new transport situation. Where is your MSR, Tomato?
Back at Thetis.
Okay, that's convenient.
Oh yeah,
And
I parked
second-
it back there. I stole
Second
it for a minute.
MSR incoming.
What's up?
Second MSR incoming.
Oh yeah, cool.
Did Nightbot get out of hand? What a dick. You joined the Discord casual. Cool. Nightbot is not a farmer. I believe it. I don't think Nightbot is patient enough to be a farmer.
It's hardly any time at all. Like what, 30 minutes?
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, not even.
Most of the time we're just trying to find and then getting the rocks inside.
We weren't even spending that long looking for deposits.
Ah.
Like, that was pretty quick still. Yeah, that could be a bit of a problem.
Nah, I'm sure it's fine. The game is.
It's not
it works.
rattling around. That's good.
Yeah.
How
Is the
did you
cargo
do
hold
that,
on it? Is there stuff in it, or is it empty?
How did you manage to?
How to get the name in that bucket? You want to be in the bucket? You want to be given away? In the hat are just things. These are just things that we're giving away. These aren't people. The people will get picked through Nightbot, through activity in chat. Anybody find anything particularly interesting today during the podcast or the show? Kind of the things that people are expecting this year, what we're looking into. Somebody actually mentioned hole munching. Now there's something that we didn't actually ever get to. We didn't talk about hole munching at all. I actually forgot about that. I do think hole munching is the kind of thing that we could see in 3.20 as well, though. I think that's very much possible. Man, I could really use another, like, nice, low-key, long, sort of... Yeah, anybody listen to those just, like, long montages of music, like cyberpunk music, or, like, calming synthwave music and stuff? I made one of those a super long time ago. In fact, let me see if I can find it. See if it pops up if I search it. Cyberpunk music, deep city. Okay, it's probably biased since I'm searching with my own account. I made one of these before and I used God, I get this ad so much. So I made this like what, 3 years ago, and I used RCorp as the backdrop. So it does like this it's basically like a time lapse of old RCorp. And slowly the sun comes up and it's very pretty, and like this was back in the day when you could get in Star Citizen and sit still for like 3 hours and not lose your spot. So if you want to check this out, it's pretty good, but I think I'm going to make another one soon using all of the spaces around the game as like a backdrop. So this is one that has a lot of synthwave, but I think I'm going to do one that has like a space ambient vibe and does the same thing. I'll drop the link to this in the chat though, because I'm personally quite proud of it. It's good song selection. I used to be a DJ. That was kind of how I got into this. I used to DJ electronic dance music, progressive house, stuff like that. And then I started making music, which was fun until I realized I wasn't as good at it. So then I just decided, why don't I match music to videos instead? And then I was like, oh, this is much more fun. So I started making video stuff. But making music videos with Star Citizen is very fun. What's hole munching? You think it's a bit optimistic that hole munching comes in 320? On the progress tracker, they have it ending in like September. But it might be optimistic, yeah. they haven't really talked about what it requires, so I don't know what kind of work they still need to do to make it a reality. Let's go get a mining vehicle. I don't know why I came out here without one. All the time listen to those videos. They're so good. I really like Stellar Drone. I listen to a lot of Stellar Drone on repeat. I play it while I'm like doing podcasts and stuff in the background all the time. You know Avicii then? Actually, when I first started out with DJing, I did get to meet another artist who was also just starting out, but he ended up becoming way famous. Jaws? Yeah, I think his name was Jaws. I mean, he didn't come famous, but he definitely was professionally produced. Other than that, you know, me and Avicii, we kick back every once in a while. Saw him in my Ibiza. Use Stellar Drone as your ambient sleep music. It's so good. It's so freaking good. Oh. Did you need my MSR?
I think it was stolen by Frenchie as a scout.
It looks like he left it here. Yeah, it's right here.
Yeah, I left it. I think it's the one there on your left.
Yes, we are going to be using your MSR.
Yeah,
Unless
we
you're
got
getting
it.
out soon.
Okay.
We got it.
I'll open it up.
Got it out, Bungie. It's fine.
Oh, okay.
What the hell happened?
Somebody blew Pisces.
Something just...
I was landing it on the ground, and then it just at the bottom of the ramp at the C2, and then it exploded.
The Pisces exploded?
Someone is dead.
Are you dead?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
How did my rock not explode and his Pisces exploded? That makes no sense.
The rock
Free
is
loot.
fixed now. The rock is loose. It's inside the thing.
Oh.
So the very vehicle that we are keeping around for when people die killed someone?
Yeah.
Yes. That's yeah, right.
I have to say, I'm surprised you're surprised.
Real quick. If the rock inside the Herc is fixed, we can just continue using the Herc.
Yeah, true. Don't we? Yeah.
You could just bring the Pisces, but use it as a scout, and then just
yeah.
And then land if someone's dead.
Yeah, exactly that.
Is the medbit still functioning?
Tomato mouse. Tomato 5. Tomat Mal 5. Offline mixtape also get peppered with Stellar Drone. Yeah. I wish I could play Stellar Drone while I'm streaming. CD Projekt Red has a lot of nice songs from their games. I actually was really not into the Cyberpunk 2077 soundtrack. I am much more a fan of Cyberpunk music from like Deus Ex. That stuff is who's that? Michael McCann, I think, made most of that music. Beautiful Cyberpunk vibes. What happened to the Starlifter?
No injuries detected, but I'm bleeding out. I can't heal myself. Someone quick drive me out of Armistice.
Get in the ship. Get in the MSR. Wait, get in the Pisces.
Hit him with a med pen. There's med pens on my body.
Pisces is dead. Pisces is dead.
Okay.
Just wait until he's unconscious, then we can hit him with a med pen.
32%. 32%.
All right. Come on, doors open.
Kill him and then give him medical treatment.
I don't want to die.
I was saying I can pull out my Pisces real quick. It's
97.
Is somebody on the ship with med pen? Med gun?
No.
I have a med gun, but I can't use it in Armistice
Yeah.
on
I'm
myself or something.
All right, we're leaving.
$15.
Out of Armistice.
No injury detected. Ah!
Pisces has spawned.
I'm gonna need a little tighter grouping on these rocks.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Oh, someone?
I got you. You're good.
Oh, Corpseman shot me in the butt. I'm good.
Yes.
All right.
Nice. Thank you.
Hey, Goblin, back up.
Good teamwork. Good teamwork.
Call the Corbin for a reason.
All right, bring him back to base.
Good enough.
Awesome.
Talking to the wrong
Thanks a
person.
lot.
I'll be honest.
Don't get too close. Don't get too close, because we still need people to get into this.
I know. I'm looking. I'm gonna pull forward a little bit right now.
Oh, that's you. Okay.
Yeah, it's not me.
Look, I saw questionable driving, so I assumed it was you.
Hey, my driving is
The shade.
okay.
Unique.
It's unique. Yeah.
See, my driving's questionable, but it works.
Sorry, somebody was asking about hull scraping. Part 2 of Salvage, which removes the paint skin, but munching would tear apart and chomp the remaining structure. Yeah. Hull munching is about breaking the ship apart and actually taking all of it in. And it's gonna depend a lot on the materials that the ship is made of. So back in 2017-ish, 2016, they started a system called Item 2.0. Took them a few years to do, and I'm sure they're still kind of refining it and working on it, but what it did was it assigned properties to every material in the game. So this might be made from some kind of polyethylene, I don't know, it wouldn't be plastic. This is made from some kind of maybe ceramic coated alloy or something, God knows. While down here, this is made from just straight steel. These two things, if they were hull munched, that support and this ground would give you different resources. So you would get a entire salvage job based differently on what ship you're mining or munching, what kind of ship it is, all that kind of stuff would factor into what the resources you get from hull munching are, which is kind of the central part of salvage. So it's a really big component of the salvage. It's going to be a big thing, and that's why somebody was saying it's optimistic to think it's in 320. But they're working on it right now. You've been watching the YouTube videos for some time, really love the content. Probably best resource for Star Citizen content. Thank you. That means a lot. There are a lot of resources for this stuff. Thanks for watching the videos. Got some good plans for upcoming content. Why can't you have a med bed in every ship? Because the balance of the ships is important. If you had a med bed in every ship, then medical profession wouldn't really have much of a specialization. You wouldn't have to have medical ships. There wouldn't be teamwork based on the medical person in the game. Everybody would be their own medic, essentially. And that kind of... Oh, crap. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Sit down. I gotta lay down. I somehow just took a ton of damage. All right, we're good. We're good. Yeah, it's kind of like the same idea as like, why isn't there a mining laser on every ship? Then there wouldn't be mining ships.
Well, think of it this way though. It's split how many ways?
Have I seen the cult movie Blood Machines? I have not seen that movie, no. Oh, I'm opening the wrong door.
Six ways.
All right, what are we currently doing? Just loading into the MSRs?
Yeah, if you want to go with Skippy on the MSR that they're loading up with
Oh,
rocks.
sorry.
Oh. Just close the door on me.
Oh, unfortunately kicked out of GII right there. That was a nice run, Corpseman, but
Close the door on me. That's it. It was like right as I was running up to it too. It just went right out of my reach.
Oh no.
Goodbye.
Sci-fi cult movie. When did it come out? I haven't even heard of it.
Shoes, you better believe that's a paddling.
Alright, MSR is ready to roll.
Okay, pajama on.
All right.
We're good to go.
"12 out of 25 SCU of cargo in a Vulture is no longer enough. You need more. Got to get another friend,
Alright,
another lad to
taking
come by and
off.
take all your cargo off of you." Came out in 2019. Ooh, pretty new. Okay. Let me throw it on a quick Google search real quick so I can remember it. Inspired by the spirit of 80s films and music. Huh. Interesting. Alright, I've got it listed. Just feels stupid that you can die because you can't drink from the sink. Well, in that case, just keep some water on you. You don't need a med bed to solve that. Water, med pens, medical gun. They do give you quite a few options just in case. You can also use your eye tracker with this game, which is pretty cool. If you get like 3 curved monitors and an eye tracker, it kind of feels a little bit like virtual reality. Because you're covering most of your field of view. And wherever you look, your character looks. So it does start to feel a lot more immersive, especially if you're like dogfighting, flying and fighting against people. You can look up when you're turning around them. You can look back around behind you. You can look down at your controls and your MFDs without taking your hands off the controller. It's a good setup when you have an eye tracker. It's jank, but you can put boxes outside the grid and almost double the vulture. Right. And you sell a lot more that way, right? You get over 100,000 credits. What is that?
Frenchie's marker. Are we going to the Titan?
No, follow the A2.
Alright.
Gonna get 2 more 3000R ultra wides. Like a, what is that, a 21:9 kind of aspect ratio? Two more of those, Jesus. That sounds amazing. If it's full, you can get around 100K, but if you stack more outside of the cargo grid, then can't you get up to like well over 100? Oh.
Hello.
Lord Skippy got denied docking.
No.
Sucker.
Skill issue.
Ooh, that's a lot of rocks. Good find. All right, who's taking this one? I'll go off on the second one.
Okay, so we don't land?
You going? Wait, who's going out? Okay, I guess
Everyone in the cargo hold, go ahead and grab a Brock and drive out and start mining.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, me and Corpse. We'll go to the next one.
All right.
There's a rock in front of me, damn it, sorry.
For the physics in this game.
I know.
Frenchie, are you scouting?
Yep.
Cool. I don't have your marker set, will be challenging.
Dang it. I hit exit instead of power on. What a dumb mistake.
I don't know if it's my scanning that's
I can't see.
or if it's the game that just doesn't have much around here.
Okay, good. I can see the actual optimal now. I wasn't able to see it.
Cancel action button would be nice.
I agree. You know, if the game worked, it'd be nice.
It's getting there. Come on now.
Back alley llama. Sometimes you guys get me with these names. How you doing? Good to see you. How's your day going?
Aerial's hot. We would have needed survival suits, and that just adds levels of complexity and such.
Yeah.
Plus, if you need a drink and you have one in your backpack where we are, you can just take your helmet off and have a drink. if you don't want to use a med bed.
Mining's going well.
I mean, you can do it in the ship.
We're kind of splitting off into 2 different groups. We got a scout looking for rocks in the meantime. I think we got 6 to 8 different rocks.
This location was selected was during the mole mining last weekend. We'd come here first, and we didn't find any ship minables, but we kept literally stumbling across rock minables.
You know where there's a whole bunch of ship minables? Lowerville, the city proper.
There you go.
Scan
I found
around
it.
there, you'll
I found
find
a
them
patch
all
in
over the
front of me.
place.
Pretty good one too.
Noise.
I wonder who's going to be the first person to overcharge and then destroy their rock.
Heading to the vehicle bay.
That would probably be me.
That's probably going to be me.
Corpseman, your first time?
Absolutely.
Looks like a decent amount.
I have
At
not
least a good
done
dozen.
mining before.
How's it been going?
That's not too hard.
I haven't run into any 30k, so it's been swimmingly.
Cool.
Swimmingly good.
How's the
So that's
game been
nice.
treating you? Like,
Good for the most part, but anytime I play with Skippy here, it just kind of bugs out on me. So
I'm familiar with that phenomenon.
You piece of jinx.
Aren't we all?
Went crazy on me.
Yeah, Frenchie kind of just smacked it on the surface there.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell that was.
You okay?
A2 crew. They're about to start mining over there for the MSRs, and they're going to be trying to instruct the corpsman. So if you could just generally be quieter, that'll be appreciated.
Okay.
Just so that we're not stepping over their conversation.
Hmm.
You got this, Coltsman.
Yes. Okay. I think we're good.
Yep. We're able to.
Ooh, a
get
hydration
on.
reminder. Thank you. Everybody, get your water in.
Skippy, it's customary to back in, not go in when you're docking the ship.
Oh, that one was backwards? I didn't even realize.
Yeah. You drive backwards, not forwards, into a docking bay.
Schooled by the noob, Skippy.
I do that with my in real life car. Never occurred to me to do that with Star Citizen.
Skippy said doo-doo.
He's German, it's okay.
I can't turn this on. Ah, there we go. So you haven't gotten to do this yet. This will be your first time?
Correct.
All right.
I'll follow you.
Okay. Let's head over here. Whoa! Oh my god, okay, not all the way over there.
I smacked him with the wall as well.
I'm just gonna play that off like I meant to back up. Boom, 180. Perfect.
On G, Frenchie's got the next match.
Roger, we're almost finished over here.
Wow, it's so weird that the rock mining arm follows your eyes with the eye tracker. Makes me feel like a robot.
That's cool.
Okay, so first thing, let me turn this off. So first things first, you just want to double check all the rocks, or not all of them, just double check the rock you're looking at, see what it's made of, resistance, mass, and stability.
My arm isn't following.
Hit the M key.
There we go. Okay.
Yeah. So when you look at the rocks, it'll give you a bunch of stats. Generally, it's not going to mean much at first, but as you start running into more and more, you'll get an idea of like where it sits on the I guess the skill level that you need to do. But rock mining is generally like every rock kind of feels the same. So click your left button, and that'll start your laser. Make sure on the left side there, that bar, the optimal range. You want to try and sit as close to the optimal part as possible. Just like anywhere in the green band is fine, but being close to that optimal tick is where they want. And then you can hold the left Alt key and use your mouse wheel to slowly put more power into your laser. Watch the bottom right part of your HUD. That's where the charge laser intensity is. And like, do it very slow, because sometimes it'll be a little bit jumpy, sometimes it'll be a little bit laggy. And slowly let it build up until you get into that green zone. Again, no rush. And you're basically just going to want to use your mouse wheel to move your power level around to stay in that green zone without hitting red. If you start hitting the red zone,
Oh, I see.
You wanna?
So it's like prison mining.
Yeah,
But
yeah, it's the same
more
thing.
fancy.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, just a golf swing mechanic, basically.
Cool. Yeah, I think I'm getting the hang of it.
Cool. Look at that. Broke the rock before I did. Can you teach me?
You're overcharged.
And then just crack all the rocks and then collect at the end. It's easier that way. Oh, is that part of Frenchie on the ground over here?
Oh yeah, that's Frenchie.
Oh, I wish I had a salvage attachment.
Wait, is there something like that? You can ground rock salvage?
No, no, no. Like for my multi-tool.
Oh, multi-tool, yeah, okay. But that would be cool. Like a salvage vehicle.
Yeah. I mean, if they could just turn these all into utility mounts, we could trade them out for tractor beams and salvage lasers and stuff. Blows up a lot. Enjoy the podcast. Thanks for checking it out.
All right, Joker, are you coming in? Yep.
We actually just filmed our third podcast, so we have 2 regularly occurring podcasts right now. We just filmed our third one for the first episode. It's a community podcast. So that'll also be up on the second YouTube channel, but it might be a little while longer until we have that on Spotify. Keep an eye out for it, though. We'll have an announcement for that. Also, Starstreams, I see you in here. The Rock Mining Master. How's it going, dude? What's up, Flying Fish? Folks, if you don't know who Starstreams is, another streamer over here on the YouTube, on the good side of the stream world. Yeah, I'll keep making little quips like that. Starstreams is a YouTube streamer, so if you're looking for more folks to watch and get some good advice from and playing the game on YouTube, check out his channel, because you're not going to learn the best of rock mining from me. I definitely take some tips from him. Doing well, Starstreams. Thank you. Who will be the first to kaboom? Probably me. That's how it usually goes.
What, 6 in the
That'd be better to have
6.
another
So
honestly.
for everybody in their ship.
Because we're fighting big batch,
okay,
so
well,
2 scouts might be too much.
You gonna come mine with us, Punishy, or you should stay in the ship?
I can just stay in the ship, keep things ready to go there.
Yeah, because we have 6 rocks. That's enough for all of us.
Okay,
Keep it warm.
Target over here.
Oh, okay. All right, I'll come to you, Frenchie, Tomato, and then we'll go to your location after we're done there.
They've got
They
Skippy.
got
Skippy and
quite a
Dogs
bit.
in them.
Honestly, I don't think 2
No,
scouts is going to be
I thought you
viable.
were gonna fall out.
Because one of us is going to end up sitting for a while.
This is T with the
Instead of
shout out.
have 1 scout right now.
What's up?
No, that's
Because like
fine. I don't
Tomato's
mind- I
like
don't
not
mind-
even halfway through. So.
I don't mind swapping back for mining, just seeing as how I'm here.
Whatever you want, man.
Yeah, we'll go to Riggs' location for the patch he just found.
Pick him up.
Tomato's MSR will go to Frenchie, and then Rig will join us as a dedicated miner after we're done with this patch.
There's a
And then we'll
patch
be-
not 2 kilometers off this patch as well.
Nice. Yeah, and then we'll be back down to just the 1 scout.
Cool. Oh wow, the sunset is so pretty from down here.
You know,
game is
ruin it with
just-
the lights.
Become the sun. You having fun, Corpsman?
Yeah, this is very relaxing, surprisingly.
We also got a pretty nice sunset going on.
Oh yeah, no, that is. The graphics for this game is just absolutely gorgeous.
Even on the lower settings, it looks great.
I cannot believe that. I mean, I guess it makes sense that they're working on global illumination now. Skippy, you made a good point that like it's probably something that they want to get done really, really well before Squadron comes out. I just didn't think that it would be, you know?
Yeah, didn't expect that either, at all.
Like ray tracing in this game was not.
Oops.
Oh.
What happened?
There goes my rock.
Oh, yeah. I did that when I first did it with you, Mono. One of our rocks.
How come I can't move?
Did you overcharge the rock?
Yeah, you broke the drivetrain and
no.
the components. You see it.
this
I think that
rock that you were. Yeah.
I think the last rock you broke overcharged a little bit, so it disabled us.
Both of
That's
you.
what I was warning you about.
Both of us?
Okay.
So-
I have 2 more rocks.
Yeah,
Back
okay.
at Titus. We can pick them up.
Yeah.
We're gonna need those.
We have some rocks in our.
Oh, wait! You don't have a helmet on.
Even...
Run to the
It's
ship.
okay. You're on Hurston.
Oh yeah, we're on
Fine.
Hurston.
We're fine.
Sorry, I'm traumatized. My bad.
Good call. It's good. It's good. It's not a bad habit.
Wait, so if you overcharge a rock, your vehicle just gets disabled?
It's.
The,
I think
the
it's
rock
kind of
blows
a.
up.
I think it's kind of a glitch right now with shatter damage. At least it was a glitch in 319.
If you have a look, if you go into the vehicle's MFD and you go into the power panel and you have a look under items, you can see the health of each item. It's a little heart symbol with like 1 to 100 written beside it. And you'll see if it doesn't have a number beside the heart, it means that piece of the vehicle was destroyed.
And we
Wow.
can't swap components in the rock yet.
No, I don't think so.
I don't know. Maybe you can repair them if you have the multi-tool and it's a canister. Sometimes you can repair stuff. We don't have any canisters with us though. We don't have any multi-tool repair.
Look forward to become a Citizenlorian. That's hard to say. Good evening, Martin. How you doing? EMP confirmed. Yeah, that is. I think that's a glitch with the shatter damage right now, that it gets over buffed and damages your vehicle, which kind of sucks.
So we find it back because we cracked all the rocks, but we didn't suck in anything.
Yeah,
Oh.
if you guys have rocks
Then I
to
might
bring
lose
here.
my spot here.
Well, I can stay
Wait,
here and
yeah,
then
the
you just
rocks
fly
there,
back to me.
That sounds good. Let's do that. Because
Tomato, are you
one...
streaming
I
right now?
did break the
Yeah.
vehicle, so I feel like I should wait here now.
No, it's fine.
Random friend requests.
Sorry?
Also, Copsman, I need you because one is on your name. It's
Yeah,
rented.
I just got a random friend. I just got a random friend request. Bilal or
Alright.
something. Ignore it.
Let me check.
Oh, I did. Yeah. Just...
Wow. That's weird. Bye-bye. Please come back before it gets dark. Thanks.
Oh man! Oh, it's already dark.
Tomato's scared of the dark.
Yeah, so
Confirmed.
hurry. Do you know what happens to tomatoes in the dark?
They get eaten
If you're not in a fenced-in garden, yeah.
by me, especially.
Oh,
Love me
they're
some
not even on our
tomatoes.
server.
Yeah, no, I don't see anything.
Hey. Can at least play with this while you guys are gone. Whoa, that falls fast.
We should be done. Oh, there's a random ship next to me. Oh my god. Keep drifting.
Whoa. Oi. Where'd that go?
Yep, back her in.
I think that just went through the ground. Oh no, the sun is almost completely down.
And yeah, from a graphics standpoint, if they want to bring it to Unreal 5 standards, they need to work on the shadow popping, because they're clipping at a certain distance and then just pop into existence.
Will that ever
And
not
global
happen in a
illumination.
game like this? Like a multiplayer?
Multiplayer, not yet, but the Unreal 5 stuff that's coming out solved that somehow. Same for the assets. Unreal 5 has asset view distance until.
Well, yeah, that's
infinity.
nanite, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But I mean,
Really,
for
that's so good.
for like pop-in, specifically for online games, is that I'm guessing that's a lot harder to do than offline games.
For the scattered object on a planet, it should be the same, but for like persistent objects that were randomly placed, that's super hard. I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
It's like permanent things.
Then-
It should be pretty easy.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, pretty easy. It's good. Unreal 5 solved it after years of research.
Yeah, I guess not. Not pretty easy, but
And then global illumination will help with proper lighting for objects. And if they fake it or not, doesn't matter. But like you noticed how lighting changed when you go from a hangar to inside the ship because it's two different object containers. And suddenly the light color, temperature is different, whatnot. And global illumination would change all that and make it look.
I was trying to bonk myself on the head. Didn't work though.
Rigadon, you said there was another patch nearby?
Yeah, future scanner's about 2.8 kilometers away.
Dynamic lighting is nice,
Thank you.
but they could leave the stations and landing sites more illuminated. Definitely, we could use more lights and like notifications in those areas because right now it's really hard to find some of the landing areas. Don't think I have a mining attachment, or else I would be able to just suck these up into my backpack. Because I'm not going to pick all these things up one by one. That's insane. Would have likely killed you for some reason. That's what I was going for. End me. I'm bored out here. Just kind of bounces around.
This is surprisingly going well.
Yes, that's exactly what I was thinking out here in the dark. Nice colors, at least.
Yeah. At least the death will be beautiful.
If it's dark, you can't really see who's going to kill you, right?
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Except we can.
You don't know
call
when
each
you're gonna
other's
die.
names.
I'm sure it's fine. Oh, who's? Can someone get the front one? Because I can't really move.
Oh, I can expedite it. So, in 1 minute, I can retrieve both.
I can grab one of mine.
Okay.
But you can reclaim the other one. So next time.
Yep.
My hunter, you
Sorry guys, I'm just having fun. But seriously, isn't this cool? Like the little red tinted silhouette. Honestly, I've never seen Hurston really look like this before. This is the lighting is gorgeous. The sunset. Wow. And I guess being in a storm also kind of changes it. But I am alone out here. Oh, sorry, I'm not muted.
You're not alone.
No?
You're...
Yeah,
voices.
The monsters are out there with you.
Oh,
Exactly.
yeah.
You're
Dude, oh my god, imagine
that's why I'm
though.
staying in my ship.
Imagine if there was
Oh, yeah.
fauna in this game. Oh god. This would be scary.
Be awesome.
What about ambient noises? Just like owls and shit, you know?
You say cows?
Wolves. No, owls. Ow.
Oh. Like, what would there be?
Really
Ambient cow noises?
Space cow.
Yeah, it can be a space cowboy.
Man, Tomato,
Yeah,
you
man.
cannot see in front of you. That's insane. That's scary.
I believe in you, Skippy. You can do it. Almost there.
That's
Close enough, I
fine,
guess.
Yeah, that's good.
Let me see if I can close the door. Yep, and we're good.
My guy's really bored. Doing some calisthenics.
Oh wait, I want to see if you can see this.
Moo's in the chat. Demon cows confirmed.
Let's see.
Everything that you're trying to pick up, Jagger, it's just bouncing right out, so I think it might be full.
No, I'm not. I've only got 7 out of 60.
I see.
Don't know of any other game with vistas like that. There aren't many. There really aren't. There'll be more and more over the years, but this is definitely the first one that really just gave you so many diverse but beautiful vistas like that. I'm right back where the rocks were.
Coming. See you, Mocha.
You see 2 missiles flying above you?
I heard them.
Wasn't hearing that in real life. Just 2 missiles going above you when you can't see anything.
The unfortunate reality of a lot of people this last year.
Oof, yeah.
Are you just firing off random missiles?
Yeah, towards the direction. So you can see them.
Oh, that one went fast.
Let's dump fire on tomato, sure.
I would not be casual out here if I knew
tractor
a
beam?
sandworm was lurking. Probably not. Tried to do it before, but it's too fast. Flies away from you.
Catch what missiles?
Hmm?
Catch missiles?
Yeah, you used to be able to.
Catch a Moab, surely.
When missiles launch, they pop out, and before they thrust, if you get them with the tractor beam, you can hold it steady.
Oh, really?
Or at least you used to. I haven't been able to do it in a long time.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Why am I out here? We ran into a little bit of a...
My last one at you.
Skippy, who are you?
Trying to shoot the missile down.
Oh, you saw the explosion. Nice.
I just realized during that little mining thing.
We're doing
good
some
night,
mining,
Sunset.
but some of our equipment went down, so I stayed out here to stay with the rocks so that people could see how to get back out. And hopefully at some point somebody's gonna get here. It looks like they're all on their way over here. I promised I've not been a bad person. I did not deserve to be left out here. But I did it for the good of the cause. I'm doing my part. And there's my ride.
Yeah, they bounce around and do damage.
Really? Yep. I've never noticed that. Really?
Everything physicalized tries to kill you. That's how it works.
Ow!
You left me here.
You told us to leave you.
I came back for you.
In the dark with the monsters and the cows.
You said you'd be back before the sun went down.
Well, I tried.
The cows were mooing.
Changes when the sun goes down. Alright, Frenchie, that's approaching.
Oh, I see you. Oh, wow. It's like the sun is coming at me. This thing is bright.
Oh, Skip, do you have the, can you turn the lights on? The floodlights for the ship?
I
Make
did,
it
but it's
brighter?
not
Okay.
helping much.
Oh, F.
Yeah.
Nice. Found a good spot though.
Maybe.
just
I'm not sure what the ramp is doing, but let's try.
Ramp will be good.
Xenomorphs. Black and white spot.
Oh yeah, nice. That works.
I'm sorry, what was that, Abyssal?
Doing some rock mining.
We are.
Oh.
Indeed, we are still rock mining. Marissam, how you doing?
Systems activating. Systems on.
All right. Now it's time to finish this job because I got to get going. I want dinner. And the work continues.
Alright, Skip, you want to give it a go? I'm afraid of blowing us both up again.
No, that's you. I'm flying.
You sure? Okay.
I suck at mining.
I don't know, I can't get worse than me. Right?
You can suck up the
Okay, I got
minerals
two
if you don't
ships.
want
Alright, I
to break
found
the
2
rocks.
patches.
How do I suck up minerals?
Right click, and then just point at the jewels. You'll have to hold the cursor over them for a little bit just to make sure they register, but that'll turn on extraction mode. There you go.
Ah, nice. Gotcha.
Careful not to move while they're flying at you, or else they'll bounce off of you and soar
Do
away.
damage? Gotcha.
No, they'll just like spread out.
Oh, okay.
Alright.
Doing fine.
Patches on French.
Been trying 319.1 live. Runs smoothly. Consider rock mining, but lacks the funds right now. I'm doing well. Doing well. The game's running well for me so far.
Yeah, go for it. It's less vacuum and more like sump pump. You just put the laser in a spot, turn it on for a few seconds, and then turn it off, put it in a different spot and turn it on. If that made sense.
Yep. I'm getting the hang of it. Nice and easy.
So the way we're doing it now is I'm cracking the rocks and he's picking them up.
Night of Star Citizen.
Can be a bit more efficient this way. Just unfortunate that when I'm using the laser like this, I can't freaking see anything.
Yeah, all things considered, other than the rough start, hasn't really been anything particularly like, rage-inducing yet.
I mean, there wasn't really much that was rough at the start.
Can everyone please stop?
Wow, I just got really lucky stopping right there. Holy crap, I stopped at like the perfect time. I don't usually get that lucky in this game. That's weird.
Where are you?
Oh, okay. You're good to go. You're good to go.
Okay. I was like, every time I moved, it's like, I think you might be in front of me.
Welcome back.
Oh.
Thistle.
2 patches I found are about 1 kilometer apart from each other, so they're pretty close. Nice.
And let the rock do all the work. Woo. With a lot of rocks working all at once, you can actually make some pretty good money doing this. I think Starstreams was telling me they were making like over $1 million with these sorts of mining runs when you have multiple rocks working together. So the potential for making money in this game really scales with both how many people you have and what ships you have. And if you're in an org, both of those things are kind of answered for you, especially because we're putting together these events for our members. All they have to do is show up and play. We just trying to provide more group gameplay for you guys. So if you're looking for good ways to make money, find some friends. Yeah, economy of scale really does work. And we haven't even started to get into the serious logistical gameplay in Star Citizen yet. Transportation, refueling, refining, and mining all in the same place is going to lead to a lot of money being exchanged.
Mine too.
Sorry,
All good.
my bad.
That's fine. It's all good. It's all good. We have a couple more, don't we?
We do. One more.
Yeah, we have like 2 more. Or
2 more.
2 more. Okay. We can just take turns. Just going out.
Strip anything that's in the cargo bays in the back.
All right, now I help with getting these
I
rocks
forgot
up.
about that.
Hey, there's my life bar.
It's good to collect the gems after about 2 breaks because the more gems are shown, it will hit your frame rate hard. I see.
I don't have any room in my inventory.
Alright, I'm gonna
Just
drive.
transfer back and forth.
Yeah, I'm gonna drive a. I've got a backpack on me, so I should be able to carry some.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I was like.
Yeah, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drive this rock over there. transfer stuff into my backpack, transfer stuff into the rock inventory, grab stuff out of the other rock. So while you guys are running back here, I'll be moving stuff between inventories.
How did you guys not get destroyed and the people who went further back got destroyed?
I have
Does
no
that work?
idea. It overcooked a little bit. I watched it for a second. I shouted, "Get back!" I moved back. A couple of seconds later, it blew up. I was like, "Okay." I was surprised because I thought you were further away than I was.
You just stop there, put him up.
Okay, you got it.
Oh,
Yeah, I got it.
so far away.
Over.
How many rocks are left? Like gems? Like the rocks in the ground.
You gotta split it. And have a big enough backpack to freaking hold the entire stack.
Alrighty, nice.
All right.
Oh my god. Really?
Collected and good to go.
One
Yes,
low.
sir.
I actually think I get the award for most damage done now. I've blown up a Pisces and 2 rocks that weren't mine.
We got a medal for you. Hazard warning.
Better be a big one with an explosion on the front.
Surprised it wasn't me who blew them up.
Yeah.
We'll either name the medal hazard warning or danger close, whichever you
Well done,
prefer.
Bungie.
I'll take both.
Well done. All right. Start running back.
I am.
Tomato.
Yeah.
May I just say that I'm absolutely fascinated by how you just backed in that rock into the MSR.
Very impressive,
What
yeah.
the actual damn? That was smooth.
Yeah.
Because I can never drive backwards when the camera is facing on me, because then everything is inverted and I crash into the ship.
A lot of practice.
4 rocks we have.
Yeah, did you see him fly those Furies? He's got practice.
Hey, I'm gonna restart
Let's go
since
closes.
this update
Oh,
kind of
nice.
Wow.
this update
That
killed our org chat. I'm gonna go ahead and restart another one and invite everybody in it right now.
Yeah, good idea.
Oh,
Good.
sweet.
Okay, cool.
I'm in the meeting
Where
spot.
are we going? Are we selling first before we explode?
We can sell, yeah. I think I'm just about done with the mining, so
All right.
I'm down to sell this batch at least. Sending invites out now.
Okay.
Party invite? Yeah. why
Channel invite, or yeah.
not? Yep, works.
So this goes across all servers. So if you guys are ever online and you want to see if anybody else is without going into Discord, you could just use this.
Okay.
Let me know if you didn't get an invite. God.
I'm still loading, so.
Yeah, I've used the GII chat before a couple times and grouped up with
Yeah,
a couple
same.
people.
Why is it red? It looks so like.
made of
I like
red.
it.
Server now.
It's just
so
like
You can change the color, I think,
Red is superior.
for yourself.
Oh,
it's
got it.
scary.
red is the best.
If you
Purple's
hit the
best color.
yeah, if you hit the gear icon, you can like change whichever color you want it to be.
Oh.
All right, Frenchie, is that a patch for us?
Yep, there's 2 of them actually.
We're looking for you now.
Purple.
Not SC related, but what mic am I using? Need to replace yours with something that makes you sound amazing.
See at all, so I'm gonna get some altitude.
Oh, you can ask that question anytime. Nope, doesn't. No problem that it's not SC related. This is the Shure MV7. SHURE MV7. It is the little brother of the Shure SM7B. It's nice because it is both dynamic and USB. So let me see if I can, or XLR and USB. So here I have the XLR connection in. But if you look real closely right here, here. Yeah, right here. You can kind of see the USB connection right here. So however you want to use this camera, it does give you some really nice options. It's very accessible. It's dynamic. The only thing is that it has a very low natural gain, or I guess a high resistance, whatever you want to call it. So you do need something that's pretty decent at boosting the signal when you're plugging this in, at least XLR. But yeah, that's a good mic to check out. So if you're looking for a good one, sure, MV7. But there's also really, really good USB dynamic mics at this point. Like the Wave mics from Elgato, the Beacon mic from Beacon. Those are both pretty good USB mics as well. High threshold? No, like you need to have a really high signal boost. You need a oh god. You need a mixer or an what is it called? Not an input. Why can't I remember the name? Jeez, I'm forgetting everything today, but you need an interface. You need an interface with a lot of gain to use these mics, or else it will sound very quiet. I actually have to boost the gain quite a bit with the Go XLR software to get it to sound better. You get a cloud lifter or something for it though. Yeah, interface. You get an M2 with a cloud lifter, but your Hale PR40 made you sound robotic. Yeah. Yeah, cloud lifter will help. I luckily didn't have to use a cloud lifter for this one, but I do think I have the gain boosted quite a bit. Oh, the Go XLR software isn't even open. Can we close some of this stuff? Jeez. Why the heck is Affinity open?
I can't see anything. It's just dark.
Oh yeah, over here on the other side of the ship.
Yeah, as long as you got a good interface,
This
should
might
be good.
be it. Yeah, looking good. Selling from.
Why do we need to
Rock.
cycle? It's the same level of atmosphere.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's, you know, gross viruses and stuff out there. We're clean. We're clean boys.
Hey, boys.
What do I select? Do I select the rock? Do I select the ship?
Whatever it shows
The
up for.
ship, and then you'll have it in like on the left side. So you select your ship, and then it'll be on the left.
ASOP terminals are working flawlessly for me so
Why do they
far.
not sell food here?
And the rock as well. If they
That's
have
a good question.
Should be some in the...
Give it away in those little gray boxes. You can
Yeah,
find it for
it's
nothing.
right here in this loot box.
Nice.
Ooh, I'm going to take some water.
Okay, I still can't figure out how to say that. I see I have stuff on the cargo grid now. I don't even see what it is. So that's not it.
Did you empty the rocks in the ship, or are they still?
No, no,
Oh, okay,
the
then
rock.
select the rock then. Yeah.
But the rock is not showing up as having anything inside.
Oh, do you have anyone in the ship?
All right,
still,
loot
or-
box
The
is all
rock are in the
yours.
ship.
Thank you, sir.
Then go to the rocks and just move in the local of the ship.
Okay. Someone do that.
Head it out.
It'd be better if it's you, because it's your ship, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you
Okay,
see my
going back to the rock.
fleet.json?
Maybe the
I
rocks
don't
need to
think
be
so.
off the ship
I don't really have
to
my
sail
fleet listed
directly from
anywhere.
the rock.
My fleet's just... I don't know what my fleet is, so I don't have it listed any places. Loads of you got stuck waiting on terminals since last night. No problems with the ASOP today, but might be based on the location.
It might be in my storage. Let me go check my rock.
Yeah, you'll have to
I'll
move
go
that to
check the
local.
rocks.
Back here.
Still have so much cargo on me.
Look at the little butt in the middle.
Looking at the butt.
Right here.
You have to turn around. I can't see your butt.
No, here. Look at the rock's butt. Perv.
Open.
God damn.
Nice. putting it to the vehicle.
Mrs. Tomato just came sprinting into the room because the call to prayer is about to start.
And I do that with the other one as well.
Weird, I can't find anything.
Yeah, do you need me to move that one forward?
From all this
No, I'm in.
Yeah, there's nothing in mine either.
No, I found stuff.
What's up, Koru?
Really? Okay,
Corbu?
well, move it then, because I don't...
Already moved.
Okay. Is it inside your ship then?
Oh, man.
No, it's all in the
I'm getting
MSR.
a lot of hit markers.
Alright.
Time to eat my candy bar.
We're
Who's over
running.
there? Rick, do you have anything near? Any rocks?
Please don't dead yourself on the stairs, Mrs. Tomato. I do quite love you, so, you know, it'd be nice if you stayed here.
So I just load back onto the A2.
What is the end game with that? Like, when I sail here at the station, it's not supposed to be instant and popping in and out of existence. Will there be an NPC walking to the ship, grabbing the gems?
I think so.
Taking them back?
Yeah.
Damn.
But it could also be that they remake these outposts with... I don't know. I mean, I think recessed hangars in the ground could be something they do, and that would help with spawning ships here.
Yeah.
But I don't know. That would require another remake to Outposts, which they just all did for colonialism style, so it's, you never really know. Underground facilities, I think, will be probably a big destination for cargo, though. It'll be easy to do that.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah, I
Alright.
really like the way that they did the loading of the whole sea aspect.
Yeah,
Definitely a
20.
halfway solution.
But if they add drones, that would work. Like the drone flying in and out with the boxes.
Yeah,
How long would you be vulnerable for sitting there while drones loaded those boxes? Like
a long time. But you're in a space station.
Escort.
Yeah.
4,000 SCU of cargo though. Then when you're right near the end, you're gonna start feeling that.
Yeah,
I mean,
right. They would want to.
You
bring
should
some escorts with you.
Yeah, you should feel 100% safe at a space station though, or else I don't think they've done a good job of building this system. Like Stanton, you shouldn't get attacked at a space station. At least as far as the lore is concerned.
I agree, but
I don't know why I cannot find anything.
I wouldn't like to bet 400 or 4,000 SCU of a particular cargo on it.
Yeah. You sell, Skippy?
Hey.
Yes, worked. We made 48k.
Wow.
Only 48k?
Only 48?
It's because it was
small one.
Asterine or Aferine or whatever.
Oh yeah, it might have been less value.
Yeah, per rock.
Yeah. Found a lot of drinks up here.
Alright, I got a small batch here.
Take it all, loot it all.
Rocks, I think.
Stop
we've-
running around behind the rock.
We'll be on our way.
Oh, I want to be squashed, bro. Come on.
Nah, you guys are so far. I'm gonna keep looking.
I don't think we've played made
I'm
like
not making you go
100k
this far
for
for
like
it was
200k.
not worth the distance.
All right, guys. That's it for me today then.
All right. See you.
All right.
Alright.
Cheers.
Have a good one.
Cheers. Good playing
Have
with
a
you.
great night, man.
Thanks
It
for
was fun.
putting this one together, Punji.
Yeah. No
No,
problem.
Tomato,
It seems to have gone well.
There are pictures in the open chat on this. Might want to. I don't know. Maybe you can use them for something. They're pretty.
All right. I'll check it out on the voice chat. I see. Cool.
Yeah, in here. Yeah.
Take a look at them. All right, guys. See you later. Have fun.
Keep going.
Cheers.
Keep
See
going.
you later.
Take care.
Good night.
All right, y'all. And that's about it for me as well today, guys. It's been good. We had a lot of fun. I hope you guys enjoyed the podcast and the special show. Thanks, everybody, for the support. Got us our first Fez giveaway. Congratulations to the winner, Casual Soup. Hope you enjoy the Citizen Lorian vibes. And thoughts on Starfield? I've actually got a lot of videos out on it now. I did a reaction watch through. It's on the second channel as well as a podcast. And I'll probably put a video about Starfield out next week, but I'm excited for it. Something I've been waiting decades for, honestly, since Mass Effect, Knights of the Old Republic. It's good stuff. But I will have a lot more to say about that throughout the next couple months, so we won't continue to drone on about it. Guys, I'm going to send you over on a raid to Astropub's on and playing Star Citizen. Nice. I never get to play raid Astropub, so I'll send you over that way. And maybe he's on YouTube as well. Let's see. What are the chances? What are the chances? What are the chances? Let's see. The chances are nil. Okay. Looks like he's got a premiere coming up, but it's not going to be for a while. So on YouTube, you guys will just be, I guess, going back to the YouTube page. Check out the newest video on YouTube, though, if you haven't. It's about the glitches and why they don't fix them, which I know pisses a lot of people off, but there are some reasons that I do put in that video. Hope you guys enjoyed the week. We'll be back for more content again on Monday, just like normal. And as always, have a juicy weekend, folks. Have a good one. Tell somebody you love them. Give someone a smile. Have a hug. Have a good breakfast. I don't know. But enjoy your weekend. I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye. Oh yeah, happy Father's Day, fathers. Cheers.